It's Monday night, and you know what that means. It's time for the Stereo Joe Show. I'm your host, Jimmy James, and I am so excited to be here. This is going to be our biggest and best show yet. We have the legendary Victor Wooten coming on the show. This guy has won 5 Grammy Awards. I don't know how we pulled it off, but we certainly did. But we also have a lot of other great guests coming up tonight. Back on the show, we have Horan coming on from Stone Road Band. He's going to be doing a bunch of performances. He's awesome. We also got Malvo 509 coming on. He's in a band called the Oxygenbox Band. He'll be doing a performance back again, as well as Theresa Ratliff. She's going to be playing the uke and singing. And, of course, we got the one and only Henry Invisible, who is going to be finishing up the interviews for the night. But he is also going to be kicking it off with a live performance. So you are not going to want to miss tonight. The Ultimate Stereo Joe Show. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you are tuning in right now, start a watch party. They might have got rid of that, so just share it. Just make a post, say, hey, we got a lot of amazing artists, not to mention 5-time Grammy Award winner Victor Wooten. All right, but first, we are going to the man of the hour. Henry Invisible is going to funk you up. Henry!
Thanks for having me back, yo. Thank you very much for having me back, yo. Yeah. How y'all doing tonight, yo? My honor to be here, yo. Let's go. Gotta put some bass on that, yo. Yes, y'all. Gotta put a little guitar on there right now. Give it up. And one more time. There we go. We hope everybody's doing well out there tonight, y'all. Bring it on. Bring it in. Here we go. Yeah. But we got to get it on, baby, y'all. I'm going to be back a little bit later to do another song tonight, y'all. I want to thank y'all on the Radio Joe. Let's get this show on the road, baby.
Yeah. Guys, give it up for Henry Invisible. Definitely the coolest intro to the show we've ever had. He is going to be back for 2 more performances, so definitely stick around. But I'm telling you, we got a kick-ass show planned out for you tonight. All right, you know what time it is. It's time to get the one and only Mutant Viking on right now. Nick the Viking, what's up, buddy?
Wow, dude, that was exciting. You're not kidding. That was one of the most energetic intros we've ever had to this show.
Dude, that's like a cup of coffee right there. Henry Invisible. Someone out there said Henry is certainly visible, and he was on fire. I don't even know how he works like 85 machines at once. Turned it up, turned it down. Amazing. But then again, this is our most amazing show, so it only makes sense that we have him. Dude, how the hell are you doing?
Dude, I'm doing great. You know, I'm excited for tonight. I'm excited from this past weekend. There's just so much great stuff going on. I just can't contain it tonight, man.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, for anyone who didn't notice, we did a little show this weekend, Saturday. You can find it on our Facebook page. It was really fun. We did dress up as nerds. It was cool. We played a bunch of like sappy love songs for Valentine's Day. It was awesome.
Yeah, we want to thank our friends Dan and Chelsea for playing that with us, and it's a great reason why, if you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube and Facebook, to be, so that you do catch our performances when we stream.
Absolutely. But before I keep going on about Vic and telling you everything, talking about his new music and everything he's got going on, I want to hear about that beard.
Ooh, okay. Well, this beard doesn't get so nice on its own. We're partnered with the Beard Struggle, and when you are too, it doesn't have to be a struggle for you. Whether you have a beard in your life you want to buy for Valentine's Day, something special, or you just want to spoil yourselves, the Beard Struggle is perfect for you because they have products for anything, all occasions, and beards of all sizes. And if you're worried about the money, don't worry about that because Stereo Joe has the hookup for you. If you use the code StereoJO at checkout, they'll take 15% off your entire order. And if you're in the US and you happen to spend $40 or more, they'll ship it to you anywhere in the US for free. That's right. That's FREE. So you should take advantage of that tonight. And some people that may be trying to take advantage of that are trying to buy some birthday gifts for people. We do want to give some birthday love to people who are celebrating tonight. And that would include Dave Phoenix Farrell, the bassist of Linkin Park, Will Turnip, the bassist for Collective Soul, and Motley Crue singer Vince Neil.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, listen, we got a lot of awesome people out there. What's up, everybody? I see Dead Tide, Caroline, Nick, Mateo, Henry, Matthew. What's going on, everybody?
I don't hear you, Jim.
I'm sorry?
I think my audio is messed up. I'll be right back then.
Amanda, Ruben, I see everybody out there. What is going on? Wendy, thank you so much. All right, Nick popped out, but that's okay because we got someone else coming. Right now, we got Remy Gale on the show.
Hey!
Surprise, what is up?
What's up? Sorry, I was like trying to send the YouTube to my aunt, and then you came on as I'm looking on my phone. That guy's awesome, man. How does he?
I'm trying to learn how to play one instrument. This guy's playing all of them.
It's wild, man. The guitar, he shreds on the guitar, and then he's on the drums. I want to know, he has a great envelope filter, which I need to know about. I have so many questions.
I know. Well, don't worry. You'll get a chance to ask him in a little bit. I know when he comes on, it's like, and then all of a sudden he's like, did it all. And then all of a sudden he picks up a guitar at the end and you're like, oh, by the way, I also shred.
Right. What? Mind blown.
We got your fan club out there right now. Kathy, Ruben, Mateo are all saying, what's up? Remy, what is up? How did we pull this off tonight? This is Stereo Joe history in the making right here.
Life. I think that's the only reasonable answer I have to that question is life. That's how we pulled it off.
Well, it all goes back to the Clash Bar where we first met.
Yes.
And, we bonded over Vic. This has been a long time in the making. I don't know how many years ago that was, but anyway, yeah, so we got a killer freaking show lined up. We got 5-time Grammy Award winner Victor Wooten is going to be coming on the show a little bit later, so stick around. We have a lot of great guests. In fact, the first guy I have up is Kevin, who was just on the show recently, but he's such a huge Victor fan that he's like, I had to get him on the show. And did you know the guy we just heard, Henry Invisible, actually opened up for Victor before?
Too cool. For real? Where?
Yep. So we're bringing them all together. Then we got Malvo 509 coming up. We got Theresa and her uke. And then, of course, we got Henry Invisible again. We got a lot of killer performances. Everyone's performing tonight except for Vic. He's not performing it. But I will in place of him. I'm going to do a bass solo with my voice.
You're going to play some Victor for your guitar?
I'm going to do the Seinfeld intro with my voice. It's going to be really good. But, okay. So, listen, we got someone hanging backstage. We got Kevin back there right now. I think I'm going to go to him. But I love you guys so much. You'll be back in just a little bit, so stick around. Guys, this is Remy and Nick. They're awesome, putting together this amazing show. If you're just tuning in now, this is the Stereo Joe Show. We're about to go to our first guest. We got Kevin from the Stone Road Band hanging in the background right now. Please welcome to the show, and please share a post for him right now so that people know he's on. What's up, brother?
Hello there.
Dude, I haven't seen you in at least a couple minutes. How the hell are you?
I know. It's been a few. I'm good. How are you, man?
Dude, last time you were on, you had a killer performance. So I am excited. We got you doing a little something now. And then we also have you at the end of the show where we're going to be doing a lot of something.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be on tonight. I think you know why.
Let's go into that.
Yeah.
Why the hell are you excited to be here? Let's start talking about your experience with what's going on tonight.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Well, first, as always, I gotta give props to Henry Invisible. That dude, I've been following him, and my wife and I, we listen to him on Friday nights when we're making dinner and stuff. When he does his Friday night love stream, we love Henry Invisible, and we met him here. This is how we found out about him. So, Victor Wooten, dude, holy moly! Congratulations for getting him.
We're lucky.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And I like how you call it making dinner. I know what the married folks are calling it these days. Friday night when we're making dinner and we're watching his love making session. All right, I got you.
I didn't even think about that. Good call. Well said. Thanks. Thank you, Henry Invisible.
Henry, to spice everything up. Well, okay, so Vic, you were named Victor Wooten, and what do you think?
I think one of the most remarkable bass players I've ever seen in my life. I think of a guy that can take a bass and flip it around his back, land, and not miss a beat, a note, nothing. Like no missive intonation. It just sounds perfect. Blows me away. But I was lucky enough, so as we've spoken before, we've bonded over Dave Matthews Band a little bit. And
I love you.
Yeah, and he obviously is the bass player for Béla, Fleck, and the Flecktones, who are friends with DMB. And I was lucky enough back in 2000, it was 2 days before my first day of college, a group of guys and I was living in Columbus, Ohio at the time. We drove 8 hours across to Missouri and went to see DMB at St. Louis. I don't remember what the place is called. But I do remember the date. It was September 18th, 2000. And and the Flecktones opened for them. And I'd gotten into the Flecktones a couple years prior because I'd heard about them, but I'd never seen them. And I was just like, yeah. I mean, you can't explain it. You know, when you hear it on a record, that's one thing, but then to actually see them do it, it's like, what? It's just awe-inspiring, and at the same time, it makes you want to throw your instrument at the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. And I know, I love when you see a musician like that. You're like, should I just quit right now? Or because they're just so amazing. Well, okay. So that's our love for Vic. We love you, Vic. But now let's tell everyone about you. You're in a killer band. You have killer songs. Let's hear all about it.
I'm sorry. I got a little too much reverb on me. Here we go. So the Stone Road Band, I'm excited to actually say I've got something to tell you this time. Yes. We're working on a little something. So actually, February 23rd, I am going to be on 13 Folds Radio. It's a local Providence, Rhode Island-based radio show. I'm going to be on that. And on that show, I will be debuting our very first studio single, and then we will be releasing said studio single a week later on March 5th. And even more exciting is that the Stone Road Band will be taking the stage at dusk in Providence, Rhode Island, and be performing a live stream on March 4th, the day before we release the single. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys have some good stuff coming up.
Yeah. And then last but not least, so we're going to release a single every month for the duration of the year. And then we are going to be, at the end of the year, it will compile to be one full album, and that will be our first studio album.
Nice. So basically we have to get you on once a month for the rest of the year.
Yes.
For each new song. I love it. Well, I'm really excited. Yeah, baby, I love it. All right, so listen, we're gonna do what? One or two songs right now.
So I'll do two. I'm going to do the first single, which and then I'll do the second single. I think is going to be the second single.
All right, and stick around, folks, because he's going to be going now, but he'll also be back at the end of the show with some more dope performances. So, all right, Kev, take it away, baby.
Thanks, buddy. All right, this is the first single from the Stone Road Band that's coming out on March 5th. Mark your calendars. This is a song I wrote for my wife, Jill, and I called it Helen. Playing with my earphones. Keep thumbing my way to the end of the world for you. Can't keep my hands to myself because it feels so wrong. Turn the lights down low. Make my way to you. See it all unfold. Make the world go round while I follow you. Keep me on my toes. Keep you here with me on my fingertips. Just make sure I know you can take what you want out of me. Here we go now. All this time I've got, spend it where I need. Right here on my knees, begging you for more, but you won't, and you keep me on my toes. Keep me right where you want it to be, but you just make sure I know there's no end to the way that you move. I am falling for you. Keep me coming back for more because it's what you do. Don't you see, yeah? Can't you don't you let me go. Hold your head back from your eyes. Let me look into the reasons I would die for you. Keep me on my toes. Keep me here, I'll be waiting for you. But you keep me up all night. Let the rest of them wait till the sun comes. I have fallen for you. Keep me coming back for more, because it's what you do. Don't you see it? Can't you feel it? Well, I'm gonna give you anything you want, because you need it so. Don't you let me go. You feel it? Well, I'm gonna give you anything you want, because you need it so. Don't you let me go. Thank you very much. I'm gonna play one more for you, and then I'll see you in a little bit. This is a song called PVD. Don't rush to the end if it keeps on coming down. We'll see what you made of. Come break the mold they conceive, while the restless can bathe in their greed. Don't let them take what they came for. Don't let them say that it's never been done. You know it's all so real. We'll see it again and again. We'll lift you up if you want to be seen. We'll break apart what they think we should be. This hardened heart that they made us believe. The restless are welcome to see. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah, whoa. Step right to the edge and fall if you need to come back down. The stranger it feels, it makes sense. No time for the wicked mind who wears the crown. The bones that you break are your own. Don't let them take what they came for. Don't let them think they can take all control. You know it's all so real. You see it again and again. Come see what's left of the rest of the world. There's love that breaks through the heaviest words. Will lift you up if you want to be seen. The rest of us want to believe it. Don't run away. We feel what you are, so you better think fast, 'cause it's coming on strong, yeah. No other way. We feel what you are, but you better think fast, 'cause it's coming on strong, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Ooh, yeah, yeah, whoa. Don't rush to the end if it keeps on coming down. We see what you mean. Oh, we'll lift you up if you want to be seen. We'll break apart what they think we should be. This heart in heart that they made us believe. The rest is so welcome to see. Yeah, oh, come and see what's left of the rest of the world. There's love that breaks through the heaviest words. Will lift you up if you want to be seen. The rest of us want to believe it now. Thanks, everybody, very much.
Woo! Give it up for my boy Kevin from the Stone Road Band. He is going to be coming back in a little bit after the Victor interview, and he will be performing a bunch more songs for us with that beautiful voice. Love it, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rem, I know you got to say something real quick. I got to bring Remy on. Remy, what are you thinking?
What am I thinking? I think that was awesome.
Thank you
Who
very
do
much.
you hear when he's doing a lot of?
I was going to ask who your influences are. I hear a lot of Dave in there, if I'm allowed to say so.
That's okay. Yeah.
Who
No
else?
denying. Who else? You know, I kind of a mixed blend. I'm a big Beatles fan.
I could see by the Beatles thing in the background.
Oh, yeah. Big Beatles fan. Big classic rock, Zeppelin. Jeff Buckley is a big I almost said a big fan of mine, but I don't think so much. But
He might be, though. He might be. Don't sell yourself short, man.
Well, listen, Kevin, you nailed it. Wow. Great job. Loving the new single. We will be coming back to you. I don't know exactly what time because we're not.
Have at, please.
Going.
Take your time.
But
March 5th. It's a new single.
Don't miss it. All right. Guys, I love Kevin. Remy, you are the best. We'll be back with Remy too. All right, guys, if you were just tuning in, that was Kevin from the Stone Road Band. I'd say his last name, but I always say it wrong. It looks like it's going to be easy, but it's not. We'll have to get it from him next time when he's on. But up next, we got another killer musician, Malvo 509, in a band called Oxygenbox Band. Let's welcome him to the show right now.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Yes, I'm doing good. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Let me see if I can get more light over here. All right,
Yeah,
so
perfect. Welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you on. It's been a minute. What have you been up to?
I've just been working on some new music, some films. We're trying to get into the whole film thing, recording and just doing music, man, and keeping business. You got to pay the bills, working, doing the daily things. How about you, man?
Yeah, the working is the worst part, but absolutely. We're trying to do a bunch of new music ourselves, and I'm excited. We got some new stuff coming out. But how is this video stuff going for you, getting in the movies and whatnot?
It's going good because we have a team. We're just trying to work together. It's always better when you have a team because we don't have enough money to pay people. Any costs. Marketing, just shooting videos, going to different places. It's just a tough situation.
I know how it is. It's not cheap. There's so many hidden expenses that go along with it, but it's worth it, and we have a lot of fun. Now you do Oxygenbox Band.
There's a light right there. There's a light there. All right. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
we got the strobe lights. I love it.
Yeah, we're trying to get on light. We got different lights. There's a light. We're trying to get more lights for you. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. And Nick, I'm going to bring you in too right now. Nick, tell us a little bit about Malvo 509.
Hey, come here right now. Bring in the light. All right, we're here.
So funny thing is, I actually met Malvo back when I used to work at a lab when I lived in Jersey, and he used to give me some guitar lessons back in the warehouse during our lunch break. We would get together, we'd bring our acoustic guitars in. He would show me a couple of things, and we would practice, and then he would do some vocals. And that was actually one of the first areas that I started performing was at the lab. We did a show for one of our coworkers, and then after that, it just kind of rolled from there.
And that's where the beard was born. All right.
Exactly. but they have a lot of amazing music that's out there. They're like a rock and soul kind of band, a little bit of reggae, a little bit of rock, a little bit of just good vibes all around. So if you're looking for some kind of music just to give you some chill vibes, but have some really nice guitar work in it, you definitely want to check them out.
Oh, absolutely. I know they got that female vocalist too. I forget her name. I'm sorry. But
Natalie.
Natalie, yes. She
Yeah,
is.
Natalie.
That's right.
Hold on, Nick. Is that Nick?
Yeah.
I didn't see. Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, it's good to see you.
All right. We got some light going. So, guys, what's going on, though? But, yeah, listen. We've been releasing a lot of singles. You know, just let me know how much longer I have, because I have one song I want to have a little time to play for y'all. You know what I'm saying? But
absolutely, we got time.
If you go check out Marble 509, Papa Pado name, it's in Creole. But if you Google us, you know, with Flat Tire, SP Flossen, you know, I got the song Marijuana Elevation. That's doing good right now. Because, you know, when I was the song, that was before they legalized marijuana in New Jersey. So now, it's like now the song is actually catching up, because there's a lot of reggae groups on Facebook that's reposting the song, because it's about marijuana. You know, we've been discriminated upon. I guess people get stopped. One time a cop stopped me because he said, his reason for stopping me was because he smelled marijuana, even though that day I was not really smoking marijuana and he didn't smell marijuana, but it was just a reason. And I don't know, how could that be a reason to stop me? You know, and remember, a lot of black kids especially go to jail because of like a joint, you know what I'm saying? Like a dime or like a nick bag. These things, I'm glad they changed that, you know. And think about it, there's no bail in New Jersey, right? If there's no bail in New Jersey, you go to jail because they caught a bag of weed on you. You probably have to sit in for 2 days if it's on the weekend, you know. So all these things, that was part of it. So that song is coming through, you know what I'm saying, Marijuana Elevation. And yeah, we just moving, man. And we're looking for actors. We're looking for videographers, photographers, anyone who's into art. If they contact me at Marvel509 on Instagram. And I have a few artists with me, just vibing, you know what I'm saying? I got G Skinny, he's a rapper from New Jersey. I got SP Flossen in the back. You know what I'm saying? I got Stanley Sherry from Oxygenbox Band, of course. We just vibing over here. So we hanging out. So since we're here, I think we got some good light. Even though you can't see them good, but you'll hear them, because we're going to be playing that one song for you. So anyway, how's the band going, guys?
The band is going well, but we're just in time for the song. So we're going to let you take it away, and we'll be back at the end of it.
Cool. What's this? Yeah. Are you ready? At 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Marble 509. Yeah. Voices in my head when I lay on my bed. I'm never alone. Like viruses they spread, pushing me to be misled, not knowing right from wrong. I gotta be strong, I gotta hold on, trying to feed it, though I've been gone. I'm losing my mind. Things is alright, but everything wrong. I'm trying to find where I belong. Nowhere to run to. I'm going crazy. Somebody help me. 'Cause sometimes lately It's hard to cope with reality. Though I try to hold on, my mind keeps fading away, going away, out of sight, losing touch of reality. I'm trying to hold on, but keep fading away, going away from here. Too much salsa, atuyemwe, la bichusa, takajemwe. I feel like I'm going away. My mind keep on fading away. Too much salsa, atuyemwe, la bichusa, takajemwe. I feel like I'm going away. I'm losing control. Mentally, paralyzed, don't wanna be. Besides, the more you know, the more you see. The waves flashing back, I took all enough for my track. Don't know how to explain this mental illness that consumes me. I gotta be strong, I gotta hold on, trying to feed it till I've been gone. I'm losing my mind. Though I tryna hold on, my mind keeps fading away. Yeah, away, out of sight, losing touch of reality. I'm tryna hold on, but keep fading away, going away from here. Salsa, atuyemwe, kabitisa, sakajemwe. I feel like I'm going away. My mind keep on fading away. Too much salsa, atuyemwe, kabitisa, sakajemwe. I feel like I'm going away. I'm losing control. Hey. My mind plays tricks on me. Got me thinking I can disappear and run away from the world, start another one. But it's all in my head, thinking about this sad. This is my story. Almost seem like a glory. I'm laughing, but jokes on me. Everyone around saying that they praying for me. But I've been asking God to take me home and set me free. Feeling lost and alone. It's how it be. I feel like I'm going away. My mind keep on fading away. Too much salsa, atuyemwe, la bitisa, sakajemwe. I feel like I'm going away. I'm losing control. Yes. What's good?
Wow, man, that was great. I was vibing with that the whole time.
Nick, man, I'm happy to see you with your long hair, man. You look just like me. From far away, I just see two guys. One is a little light skinned and one is a little darker. We look similar, man. I think we're twin. Look at us. You see what Jimmy
That's what I'm
did
talking
there?
about,
You see
man.
what Jimmy did? I like that, Jimmy.
Separated at
Just
birth.
show what up.
Dude, you guys have been doing so much. You had mentioned that you're starting to get into making some movies. You've been making a lot of moves with the music. You've traveled to different countries. You've played with a lot of amazing artists, and even have done some music for a lot of different other projects.
Yes.
What's a big goal for the future that you would like to have for your band?
Well, the big goal that I've always been having is to release a new album, which is the third album, to connect that type of trilogy, because we had the EP, which is the Soul Surgery. People could get that anywhere. Google Soul Surgery from Oxygenbox Band. Then we had the album Move Out. We're selling this album everywhere. I see it being sold even in Korea, Japan, like strange places where you see in 5 cents, you know what I'm saying, 10 cents coming in. You know how it is because we try to connect everything. My advice to every artist, man, just try to get your brand going, connect yourself, take time and work on your brand. You know what I'm saying? Get your names on Google, trying to pass it around, make sure you copyright your music, upload on YouTube, get your sound content ID, and then just keep moving, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one thing a lot of bands neglect to do is they forget about the branding and building up the product side of it. So you guys have done a really great job at that. Where are you finding the inspiration for your videos?
Well, the videos are coming from everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because we have different vibes. Sometimes it depends on who wants to take on that this the job, you know what I mean? Because like I've shot videos where I'm more like in the darker side. For my videos that I'm shooting and some future videos, they will always see some kind of spiritual, some kind of ghost or other side of the world type of vibe in it. Because I'm using like monsters, like those karate movies, how they had those big monsters from like with the big robe and all this thing. We're doing that type of vibe because of energy. And then we have people that like to do like films, you know what I'm saying? Like Stanley's a director. He did the Creole song, which is "Say When Play." It's more like a vibe, like just going and get people involved, different things. And then I have other directors I'm working with. One of them is One Click, you know what I'm saying, from DPA Records. So we're doing a bunch of different things, man. We just holding on. The whole point is not stopping. That's the whole thing.
Absolutely, it's important to keep the momentum for whether a band is starting out or trying to keep going, especially right now where you can't really play so many live shows. You have to get creative. It's cool to see that you guys are really stepping out of the whole music zone and really stepping into different boundaries.
Definitely, I think it's very important because one thing we realize when we go older in music, you don't really make the money of just the music, but what's around it. So if you're just waiting for just the money from music, it's gonna take a long time to come. So unless you just get a good deal, and then say you get a 6 digit or something. But then if you're just doing it yourself, you gotta be able to say, since I'm already out there, I'm branding myself as Malvo. Maybe I want to sell some Malvo t-shirts, or I could brand myself. I got my company, my clothing line, which is Free Everything. That's my clothing line, which is Free Everything. You know what I'm saying? So I could promote that because I'm starting that in Haiti. You know what I mean? So it's things like that, which is the same way when we creating our business. We have different business. One of the business that we have is a barbershop. It's Lions Barbershop, but they know it's us. You know what I'm saying? It's Stanley, it's Malvo. So people are gonna come around just because they know we in music. You know what I'm saying? Even though the music is not directly bringing us money, but it could bring us an exposure to just get people around us.
Yeah, that's great, and I agree. It's you gotta pull people in different ways. So you guys are really doing that a whole bunch of ways, which is awesome. And I got my friend Remy here. She's got a question for you too. What's up, Remy?
What's up?
What type of question?
What type of question? I don't know. I have a lot of questions. I would like to know where your influences come from, firstly.
My influences come from in the beginning from this artist called Coupe Cloué, Gisne Jean. He's like a more like a compa, but like a compa mamba vibe. They call it. It's like compa, but they call it compa mamba because it's like a circle vibe. You know what I'm saying? Coupe Cloué, Gisne. And then when I grew up, of course, my hip hop influence become like listening to Wyclef because with the Fugees, because it cross over. My Jamaican influence like Buju Banton, Bob Marley. Then you got Lucky Dube from Africa. So it's a bunch of different things like Don Cato. You know what I'm saying? I like this guy from Haiti. He's a singer from Haiti. So it's
Oh no!
like,
Oh no.
okay, I'm back. I'm back.
That's so sad. We lost you. I didn't know
Somebody
what
just called
happened. I got
me,
nervous.
and then I lost.
They called. Oh no. Well, listen.
Okay,
We're just at the end of the segment anyway. So where do you want everyone to go check out all your stuff? What's the number one thing they should look up?
Jimmy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Shoot. All right, Nick. Well, you got to tell him, message him if you could, let him know it was the end of the segment anyway. But Malvo, you did a great job. Everyone go check out Oxygenbox Band. Check out Malvo509 on Instagram. He was great. Thank you so much for coming on the show. All right, guys, the show is off to a blast already. I can't wait. We have Victor coming up in just a little bit. But before we do that, I got to talk to Remy. Remy, what do you think of the guests so far?
I think you always put me on the spot, bro.
I love it.
I think they were great so far, like two totally different genres of music. But I really enjoyed them both a lot. Like very interesting and like cool to see like how it just, the world comes together in music.
Absolutely. And listen, I got Malvo hanging. He just came back. Let's just get him on one time real quick. Malvo, tell us where everyone should go to find out your songs.
You can go to, anyway, as a matter of fact, right now, if you just Google Malvo 519, I'm registered as a business, like an actual business. So you can get my phone number, which is 786-972-8354. That's like my direct line. You could text me for business. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up. I got 2 phones. One for
I got 2 phones. Do you know that song, Kevin Gates? Sorry, am I the only one that knows that song?
All right, well,
Nick knows that song. Okay, she said she has multiple questions. We're gonna let her ask 1 or 2 more questions because we want to hear some women questions too. Because I got a lot of guys. Some of them are singles and some of them are married.
No, I asked the worst question ever.
Go ahead.
I feel bad. I got to run to my next guy. But Rev, ask one super quick question. We got 60 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me? Wait,
yeah, ask a quick question.
Oh, I asked him if he knows the Kevin Gates song, 2 Phones.
Yeah, I know that song.
That's why I started laughing.
I've heard it. Nick know about it too.
All right, well, perfect. All right, guys, give it up for Malvo 509. Thank you so much. Rem, I love you, but I got to let you run. And Nick, you know what time it is. It's time for Henry Invisible. He is back with performance number 2. If you're just tuning in now, this is the Stereo Joe Show. Share it right now. Get as many people as we can. We're getting closer to Victor. But right now, back to Henry Invisible, the man, the legend. I'm out.
I'm a legend already? Oh, man, come on. Everybody, I just want to say thank you very much for tuning in, y'all. Yes, y'all. Yeah.
I don't believe in working slow. It don't mean no thing if it ain't got soul. I'm on my way, got to make it to the top. what you wanna do. I'm gonna take it through. I'm gonna take it through. Come on, if you got to go, I'm gonna take it through. Don't you ever, ever, ever go stop. I don't even know why, baby. Don't stop. Don't you ever, ever, ever go stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't stop. Don't ever, ever, ever go stop. No, you should never, 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 no. Don't stop. Don't you ever, never, ever go stop. Yeah, don't you ever, ever, ever go stop. I don't even know now, baby. Don't stop, don't ever, 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 don't stop. Don't stop, don't stop, no, 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 no.
All right, everyone, that was Henry Invisible. The dude is MFing amazing. I'm so sorry to stop you, Henry. I didn't want to, but I got to go to my next guest. She's been hanging backstage, and she is getting ready to come on. But honestly, that was Henry Invisible. He is going to be back one more time for us to talk to us and perform for us once more. So stick around. We also have Victor Wooten coming up. But right now, we got Theresa Ratliff. She's got one awesome voice, and she plays the uke. Let's welcome her to the show right now. Hey!
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's really nice to be here.
We're so excited to get you back on. It's always a treat. You always play some really cool songs, so we love it. What have you been up to since we've had you on last?
Oh my gosh, I don't know, so many things. I guess there were the holidays and yeah, kind of just being COVIDed in with everybody else.
You're not kidding. Have you been working on any new tunes or anything?
Yeah, actually, I learned a few new ones. I'm gonna do one tonight that I just learned, and yeah, we'll hope that goes well.
Awesome. Are we doing two tonight, hopefully? I mean, if not,
Sure.
okay. Yes.
Sure.
I'll get as many as I can. I love when you perform. Have you had a chance to get out and perform out yet or not yet? Have you been waiting?
A couple of open mics, since the beginning of things, but I'm not a kid, and most of the people in the bands I'm in aren't kids either. So indoor performing right now is really not an option for a lot of them. So I guess it's laying low until warmer weather, unless there's somebody out there who's looking for a female lead, in which case they should give me a call because I'm not afraid to go inside.
I love it. Well, I might just actually have to take you up on that offer, to be honest with you. I'm looking to do a little acoustic duo thing, and Remy won't sing with me, so I guess I better get Theresa.
Hit me up, man. I'm game.
I really would consider it because you also play the uke too, so I love it. So, all right, so you've been working on a bunch of new covers and everything.
Yeah.
And anything else have you been? I was going to say too. Actually, what were the open mics like?
Oh, they've been good. There was an outdoor one up here in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, all summer long, and like spring and fall too. But they didn't start till late because of COVID. But be that as it may, it's on a CSA's farm property, and it's like a big music festival. It's 4 hours long. They get a whole bunch of different musicians to do 15, 20-minute sets, and they have food and beers. It's at the Josie Porter Farm in Stroudsburg. They'll be starting up again around May.
I'll be there this time for sure. That sounds fun. I know. I'm hoping things get back to normal. Hopefully sooner than later.
Sooner than later, yeah, well.
Until then, we got the online community, and you've been doing really well with that too.
I have. I really have enjoyed that. I'm actually considering starting up some couch concerts again. I haven't done a lot of that yet this year because I had some other priorities, but I think I'm going to start that up again in a couple of weeks. And then also, my boyfriend and some other folks are getting a scene together down in Coatesville, Pennsylvania. That's supposed to be kicking in sometime around March. So, there's a lot of little things in the fire right now, just waiting for a little bit warmer weather to hit so we can pull them off.
Well, I can't wait. And I'm definitely going to meet you at that open mic. That sounds like so cool. So,
oh, awesome. Yeah, hit me up. I'll give you more details.
Definitely. You definitely will see me there. All right. I'm going to get off and let you sing right now. So I'll be back. Remy's laughing at me. I know that sounded bad when I said that. I'll be right back.
I don't know what you're talking about. I heard nothing. All right. So this is a cover you'll all know probably. Tried and true. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. The darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. And this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's going to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. I know, I know, I know, I know. I know, I know, I know, I know. I know, I know, I know, I know. Better leave young thing alone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. There's darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. All right. I guess I'd launch right into the next one, or somebody would come yell at me. So this is a Dire Straits song I really like. It's called Romeo and Juliet. And the Indigo Girls do a version of this song, so my version is a little closer to theirs than it is to the Dire Straits version. Love struck Romeo, stings the streets a serenading. He's laying everybody low. He's got a love song that he made, and he finds a convenient street light. steps out of the shade and says something like, you and me, babe, and how about it? Juliet says, hey, it's Romeo. You nearly give me a heart attack. Yeah, well, he's underneath my window now. She's singing, hey, la, my boyfriend's back. Shouldn't come around here singing up to people like that. Oh, anyway, what you gonna do about it? Juliet, the dice were loaded from the start, and I bet, and you exploded into my heart, and I forget the movie's long. One day you're gonna realize it was just that the time was wrong. Julia. Now we both come up on different streets. They were both the streets of shame. You know, they're both dirty, both mean. Isn't even the dreams were the same. But I dreamed your dream for you, and now your dream is real. So tell me, honey, now how can you look at me as if I was just another one of your deals? Now you can fall for chains of silver, and you can fall for chains of gold. You know, you fall for pretty strangers and the promises they hold. Well, you promised me everything, and then you promised me thick and thin, and now you just turn away and say, Romeo, I think I used to have a scene with him. Oh, Juliet, when we made love, you used to cry. You said, I love you like the stars above. I'm gonna love you till I die. There's a place for us. I know you know this song. One day you're gonna realize it was just that the time was wrong. Julie, I'm so in love, so in love, yeah. No, I can't do the talk like they talk on my TV screen. I can't sing a love song, not the way you sang them to me. I can't do anything, but I'd do anything for you, honey. I can't do anything except be in love with you. Yeah, now all I do is miss you and the way we used to be, you know. And all I do is keep the beat. I keep bad company, and all I do is kiss you through the bars of this rhyme. When Julie, I do the stairs with you anytime. Oh, Juliet, when we made love, you used to cry. You said, I love you like the stars above. I'm gonna love you till I die. There's a place for us. I know you know the movie song. One day you're gonna realize it was just that the time was wrong. Julie, Julie, love struck Romeo, sings the streets a serenading. He's laying everybody low. He's got a love song that he made, and he finds a convenient street light, and he steps out of the shade and says something like, you and me, babe, and how about it?
Woo! Yeah! Oh, that was really, really, really nice.
Thank you very much.
I love it. All right, I got Nick and I got Remy. They both want to pop in, and I know you guys. Remy was almost back there crying.
Oh, don't cry, Remy.
That was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was great. I have one question for you. Was ukulele your first passion, or was another instrument you played before that?
Ukulele isn't even my current passion.
Okay, so let me rephrase that. What is your musical passion?
I'm a singer. Yeah, I'm a singer. This is I compare this to the potato chips and the dip. The ukulele is the potato chip. Okay, the voice is the dip. This is so that you can get the dip into your system. So that's why I play the ukulele. I have very little passion for it. I would love to sing with someone else playing.
Well, you did a fantastic job. It sounded really beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You always have the best song choices when you come here, and you always nail them. And converting them into a ukulele version doesn't always seem like it's something that's easy to do.
It's not, actually. And there have been songs where I'm like, oh, yeah, I really want to learn that one. And I'm just like, nah, that just sucks on a ukulele. You just can't pull it off. You know?
Can I ask a quick question? Sorry, Nick, to cut you off. What is the tuning of a ukulele from like the top to the bottom?
It is G, C, E, A. My dog has fleas.
Say that one more time, because I'm partially deaf. G what?
G, C, E, A. Good children eat apples.
That's right, they do.
That's tough because that's not in fourths. Like the bass is tuned in fourths, so that's tough.
Well, yeah, because it
Sorry.
Most stringed instruments go, from the lowest note to the highest note.
Right.
But this doesn't. It drops down. So yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, and it's always great to get you on here. We are literally almost out of time, but we're going to go another minute late because I can't lose you. You're so good. So, okay. So you said that's not one of your passions. What is one of your passions? Maybe it's outside of music. What do you love?
Oh, besides singing? Oh, wow. I mean, I love music. I love going to see other people play. I like concerts. I like music festivals. I really enjoy that whole scene. I make a little bit of jewelry. I have a cat. He's awesome. I have kids. They're awesome.
Very cool. All right. Yeah. And listen, where should everyone go to check you out or work with you if they're looking for a lead vocalist?
So you can hit me up on Facebook, Theresa Ratliff, Theresa. Oh, I guess it's printed there. So there's my name. Look me up. The cover photo is a picture of me with the ukulele, so I'm not that hard to recognize. Also, if you want to look up either of the groups that I have pages for right now, you can look at Woodrow, which is on Facebook, or you can look at Earth Song, which is one of the other bands that I play in now. So.
Oh, cool. Well, real quick, tell us about them. Earth Song.
Earth Song is the gentleman Renard Cohen, who's an amazing guitarist and keyboard player. And we have a full-time keyboard player, bassist, drums, and myself, Kat Burbage on drums, Sam Cassidy on the bass, and Brian Van Corn on keyboards. And we do a lot of original stuff, blues, leaning towards classic rock and folk, and then some Jerry Garcia Band, Grateful Dead, Fleetwood Mac covers, a lot of stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Where did the men go?
I don't know.
We're out of here. We just got up and left.
I'm like,
they left the conversation. Like, too much Indigo Girls for us. We're out.
We're like, all right, they're talking a little too much. I'm out of here. No, we had behind the band, the behind the scenes stuff going on. Oh my God, Remy, you're gonna kill me. I started drinking. Oh my God.
I know where you live, James.
She's not kidding. No. All right. So listen, everyone get in touch with Theresa. She is wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
To you again. And I can't wait to see you live and in person, finally.
Yeah, finally. Maybe. This is the year, Jimmy.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. All right. Well, so good to see you again. And thank you for coming on the show.
You're very welcome. Have a great night, everybody.
You too. You later. Rem, we're getting closer. I am so excited. We got Invisible Henry coming, or Henry Invisible right now. Invisible Henry Invisible. It's cumulative. You can switch it back and forth. He's still amazing anyway you slice it and dice it.
Still Henry, whether he's invisible or not.
I'm sorry. It's starting to hit me, and I'm feeling real good. I can't wait. But this fire is burning me up a little bit. But okay, Rem, I'll be back. You definitely think of a question to ask Henry because he's freaking got some good
I have a million already.
I love it. All right. I will be back in touch. If you could go check, make sure we're good with everything, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Gotcha. Bye.
Hey, guys, that is Remy Gale. She is awesome. She played bass on one of our upcoming songs we have called Pain. I'm really excited. That's going to be out and supposed to be out already, but you know how this music always takes forever. But enough about Stereo Joe and how awesome everyone in the band is. I love them. No, we are going to another killer artist. We've been watching him perform already twice so far. Let's get him on for a third time. Henry Invisible.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What is up?
I wanna bounce with you, baby, on balance bounce. I wanna bounce with you, baby, on balance bounce. I wanna bounce with you, baby, on balance bounce. Ooh, ooh, yeah. I wanna bounce with you, baby, on balance bounce.
Yeah. Henry Invisible.
Yes, sir.
Love
Yes,
it,
sir.
brother. Dude,
Yeah.
I was bouncing with that song the whole time backstage. I freaking love it. Is there an instrument that you don't play?
Yeah, well, there are a bunch of them. I mean, ukulele for one.
All right.
Also brass instruments. You know, I don't. I'd love to play the trumpet, but I never learned how.
You got it covered on the synth. I just want you to know, midway through your performance, Victor popped in backstage. He was watching you. How exciting is that? And real quick, you told me that you opened for Victor once. Tell me about that real quick.
I did. It was an amazing time. Victor, if you're still back there. It was at a place in Austin, and yeah, it was just a blessing. You know, I was very excited about it. He was probably one of the cooler cats I've ever got a chance to open up a show for, and the show was just amazing. It was Dennis Chambers on drums, and just incredible, man. I mean, he's an influence, a major influence, a spiritual influence. I love his book. I know he's got another one out that I can't wait to read, and yeah, so that's exciting.
Yeah, really exciting. All right, listen, I got to bring my friend Remy on. She's got a question or two for you. But
all right.
Thank you so much for all the performances tonight. You have been killer. I know all of our fans just love you to death. So awesome job. All right, here's
Anytime.
Remy.
Yo,
Anytime.
what's up?
How you doing, Remy? How you doing?
Man? That was great. That was so much fun. My main question is, like, because the way the camera is faced, what bass do you have in there in the background?
That's a PRS. It's a Paul Reed Smith. I think it's called an SE. I actually won the bass. I won the bass and the drum kit in a contest.
Nice.
Yeah, CD Baby. Thank you, CD Baby.
One thing they're good for. No, they're good for a lot of things.
Yeah.
I love CD Baby. They're going to help me get on Spotify. I love it. All right, I also got Nick backstage. He's got a question for you too.
Okay.
Dude, you've been killing it all night tonight. Thank you for entertaining everybody. I love when you put on your morning jams and when you come on the show. It's always a great time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nick.
I wanted to ask. Absolutely, it's our pleasure, man. I wanted to ask, because everything's so precise of where you need to put everything, even down to the location of your guitar stand. How long did it take to develop your setup that you have?
Right on. Great question, man. So I call this the spaceship, you know, and
Nice.
it literally has to be within my reach. I have to be able to do this and maybe this at the same time. And you know, it took a while to develop that sort of thing. But as with anything is, you know, you're going to make a bunch of mistakes for the first 100 times, and then you're going to get it. So this kind of development has been around for a few years for me now. And it's just literally based on that concept, you know, ease of reach. And and understanding, you know, where things go and that kind of thing.
Well, I'll tell you, you are definitely one of the most favorite artists we've had on. A lot of people message me about you. They want to know where to find you and what you've been doing. You were telling us about a really cool album that you worked on last time with some big name players on it. Tell us about that real quick again.
So Bootsy Collins came out with a new record called Power of the One. I'm playing some synth keys on there. There's a bunch of great players. George Benson's on there. I believe Victor Wooten may be on this one. I'm not. Yeah. You know, and there's just Snoop Dogg, a lot of cats on there. So many different players on there, and it was just an honor and a privilege to be playing with the legendary one and only Bootsy Collins. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. When you were telling me about that last time, I was like, oh my God, this guy's my hero. Really. And that guy we had on earlier, Kevin, he's such a big fan of you. He tells me him and the missus watch you all the time. So really excited to be able to bring such high quality artists to people. So thank you so much for coming on. And where should everyone go and find all your stuff?
You can find me at anywhere at Henry Invisible. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, henryinvisible.com, Facebook /Henry Invisible. Please follow me. And I've got my live stream, you know, my love stream every Friday night at 9 p.m. Central. And we do it every single week. And we're in this spaceship and the Mathma Chicken's here. And but before I go, I just want to say,
let me ask you a question, Henry. Where's the live stream at? Facebook or?
Awesome. Yeah. So it's on Facebook, it's on Twitch, it's on YouTube, it's on Twitter, and it's on Austin Music Television, Roku, a Roku channel 99, I believe. And it's also on Apple TV as well. And it's called The Love Stream. And it's every Friday at 9 p.m.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. And what do you want to say?
Yeah. If I may just say one thing, I just want to say, you know, with everything going on, how important it is to be able to do these kinds of shows. And I want to thank hosts like you guys for pulling in the music and putting these things out there. Thank you so much. And it's just so incredible to be able to play, obviously not for people, but virtually be able to play. And I just really appreciate that. And I just want to also say all the love and respect to Victor Wooten, who I know we're all excited to talk to you. I just want to say all the love and props, and thank you so much for what you've done for the music world and bass and everything. And Henry Invisible out. That's all I want to say.
Absolutely. All right. Well, hey, what a way to end it. Henry, truly an honor to get you on the show. I knew you'd be perfect for this one. And really, you've been rocking it all night. Literally everyone backstage while you're performing is dancing the whole entire time.
This was me the entire time. I'm like, yeah.
You're doing something right. And
right on.
On Friday nights.
New single coming out in just a few weeks. Dance Music Saves. Check it out.
Henry, Kevin is checking you out. He called it making dinner with the missus every Friday night in your love stream. So listen, Kevin will be back. Henry Invisible, thank you so much. Next time I want to hear how you got the name, but I got to run for now. But I love you, brother. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Peace.
All right, guys, that was Henry Invisible. I'm just chilling with my homies, Remy and Nick the Viking. We got Victor backstage right now. Remy, what do you want to say to Victor real quick?
Hey, Vic, what's up? How was your interview?
I can't wait. Oh, my God. I'm like a kid on Christmas, but it's already February. Oh, my God, it came real early.
That's right.
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to let you two roll, but you'll be back in just a few minutes, so don't go too far. And I'm going to bring the legend on himself right now. All right, guys. If you're just tuning in now, this is the Stereo Joe show. We are at the moment of the night where we are about to bring Victor on. But real quick, if you could, start sharing the heck out of this right now. We got to get this dude as many views as humanly possible. He just came out with a new book. He's going to be telling us all about it. This guy is one of the best bass players you've ever seen. Only person to win Bass Player of the Year 3 times from Bass Magazine. He's got 5 Grammys to his name. He has a book in 7 languages. He's got an awesome nature and music camp called Wooten Woods every year. He's got his own record label called Vic's Record. And the guy produces, he writes songs, he plays with everybody. There's even more to him. He's got a bunch of books out. But all right, without going any further, let's please welcome the legend himself, Victor Wooten, to the show. Hey.
Hey there. Hello, everyone.
How's it going?
Life is good. Life is always good. And when it's not, I know it's my fault, right?
That's
No,
right.
I'm doing well, Jimmy. How are you doing?
I'm so excited to talk to you again. The last time I had the pleasure of talking with you, it was just like one of the highlights of my life, one of the best days. I got to see you and a couple of your brothers performing, Joseph
Yeah.
and Reggie. They were amazing. I was like, felt like I was inches away from you guys. I was like, oh, it was like one of the best nights of my life. So truly an honor to have you on the show with us tonight.
It's my honor. I'm really like he just said. Thank you for doing what you do and supporting people like us. It really does mean a lot, especially in this days and age where we need all the help we can get in this business. Thank you for doing what you do.
Absolutely. Yeah, it came out, Nick lives in another state and we weren't able to get together. And I said, what could we do? So we decided, let's start a show. We'll help everyone get their music out there during this time. But you by far are the highlight of our show. I think we've had 60 something episodes and this is definitely the best one. So it's so great to have you. And there's someone who helped make this happen. She's a little angel. She's amazing. Let's get Remy back on the show here.
Remy.
What's
Hey,
up?
hey,
Hey.
Hey.
good to
How
see
did it go?
you.
How was your interview with
Yeah, it was fun. We had Mark Kelly from the Roots. He's a bass player with the Roots. He was on with me, and as well as Steve Bailey. And let's see, it was for Brooklyn. It's a bookstore in Brooklyn. Brooklyn, not the Brooklyn Bowl, the Brooklyn something. Now
I
I'm getting
know.
brain dead.
I know.
But it was cool. We just kind of caught up with each other
Nice.
and talked about the book a little bit. But it was just fun to get to hang with friends,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That thing you did with Béla the other day was awesome.
It was the same type of thing, just different
Yeah.
friends. Yeah. Thank you. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
I was excited. I got to sit in on your live stream the other day with your new book, The Spirit of Music. Can you tell us about it real quick?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a sequel to my book called The Music Lesson. That book came out actually in 2008, and so I knew I had more to say. I just didn't know when I was going to say it. And finally, this book has come out. It came out February 2. That's it. Remy's got it. Yes. And it's based on the premise that music is dying. It's a fictional tale, but it's based on some a real foundation put into a fictional story about music says that she's sick, she's disappearing, and there's actually this group of, I don't know if you call them people, entities, whatever, called the phasers that are making sure that music is gone and eradicated. And so there's a few people who come together to try to help save music, and it's a battle to see who's going to win. I guess the overall goal is hopefully entice the reader to join the crusade in helping music stay alive.
Absolutely. And it was really exciting when you were having the live stream, you played some excerpts from it. And I noticed that you had a couple different people do voices on it. One was your aunt. I thought that was really cool. Tell us a little bit about the different people that were on it.
Oh man, this was fun. I patterned this audio book, which should be out sometime later this month. I patterned a style after the first audio book I had done. My life is making records and playing live. So when it came to doing an audio book, there was no way I was just going to sit there and read it. So every character is read by a different voice. So a lot of my friends on it, and this one goes even further. More voices, more stars. India Ari, Kev Mo, Jake Shimabukuru, Béla Fleck, and the Flecktones got music on there. But also, my mom has passed away since I did my first book. So her role is actually read by her little sister, which is my aunt. And what a great time, just recording her. And she would read something that my mom, at least in the book, says, but she would tell me the story behind it, like it came from either their dad or their mom. And so the whole time I would just keep the recorder rolling, and I just acquired a bunch of new stories. So it's just been a joy, the whole thing. Just the process of recording it is always fun. I guess anyone who's made a record, once it's out, we're kind of lonely again. The the life is in the process of recording it and making it and creating it. And now that it's done, it's like I need more stuff like this to keep me moving, you know?
Well, it's really exciting because you have your hand in a little bit of everything from producing to obviously performing with a whole bunch of different groups. You're even doing a little heavy metal stuff I've seen with this band Nitro. So you do it all. What has been one of the craziest memories you have from all of this?
Wow. I mean, the craziest one, there's been a lot of really, really crazy ones. I mean, just like getting phone calls and getting on the phone, and it's Michelangelo, this guy with his guitar player, and I'm with Nitro, and I'm used to seeing just photos of him with so much hair and guitar necks going, you know, in every direction of the compass, you know. And all of a sudden, I'm on the phone with him and them, and they're saying they want me to play bass on this prog metal record. That's crazy enough, you know. But what's really the best part of that story is that they thought that highly of me to add me to their music. You know, a similar story when Chick Corea hired me to play upright bass, you know, double bass on a live concert, and I don't play out double bass, but he thought that highly of me. You know, so it's really, really nice when people think, in many cases, higher of you than you think of yourself. You know, and there's been quite a few crazy incidences like that, and I'm grateful for all of them.
Can I add something to that? Everybody who's listening, bring out your notebooks and your pens because you're going to want to write this stuff down, folks.
Remy's been around. We've been around each other for a long time, and you know, I guess I don't know if I first met Remy at a camp or on tour or whatever, but Remy's been to a lot of our camps, and you know, we always tell people to have, you know, a notepad and a pen just in case.
What do you think? You want to laugh? This is actually, it says, "It is well with my soul" is the name of the notebook that I've been using.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Keep that notepad hand. It's true. It's not because I might say something good. I may say something so stupid that it makes you come up with a good idea, and you wanna be able to write it down. You know, so I always usually have a notepad or my phone, and I can do voice record. But a lot of my ideas are in my phone, even songs. Soon I will release a bunch of recordings that just show where some of my songs came from. I mean, you know, silly, bad recordings of me singing melodies into my phone, and I'll play them for you, and then you can hear how they morphed into the final version. You know, so all that stuff is good, but a lot of us lose ideas. We lose good ideas because we don't document them. And sometimes those ideas are fleeting. They come and then they go. And so you got to grab them. And if you don't, someone else will.
Absolutely. And that's why the notebook is so important to have it to get the idea down. Now, any of these ideas, did they end up turning into your books? And how did they come about? If not, and this is the second book. It's kind of like a two-part series. Is there going to be a trilogy at all?
You know, there's music is like, it never ends. You know, as I heard my good friend Anthony Wellington say once, he said, it's like trying to count to infinity. You know, you never get any closer to the end. But the cool thing I realize is that you do get further away from the beginning. So sometimes if you turn around and look back, you can see how far you've come. And then you realize, wow, I do have something to say. So there could easily be a trilogy or I don't know what you say when there's four, a quadrilogy. I don't know. But there easily could be. But, you know, right now I would leave it up for someone else to write. I'd rather people write their own story. And that's really my whole goal, is to inspire people to be more of themselves. You know, and I like to lead by example. And, you know, so I like to do things that hopefully will inspire people to do their own thing.
I do have a question for you, Vic. So obviously I have the book, as you've seen. And
Yes.
I open like to the second page. It says, "You are not lost. Keep going."
You know that one very well. Yeah. Yes.
Can you touch on that?
Well, sure. That is a sign that if you come to one of our camps at our location, Wooten Woods, you will pass that sign. Well, we hope you pass it. If you read it, I think you'll pass it. Because when you get to our place, it kind of looks like you're lost. You know, you get off the highway and then you're just going down to this winding road deeper and deeper into the woods. And it seems like you just left civilization and you're getting further and further away from it. So we put a sign out there that says, you are not lost. Keep going, you know. And it really brings a lot of relief to the person that's driving. It's like, okay, I'm on the right track.
Yeah, in the backwoods of Tennessee, you're like,
Especially coming from North Jersey, the first time you're camping.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
But a lot of
Right.
people have taken that to be like a huge thing as part of their lives. Like the "You are not lost, keep going" sign came to be more than what you even intended it to be, which has been
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, there's not a whole lot that happens at our camp that doesn't have a deeper meaning to it. You know, our camp is about music, but if you think about music, music is about life, or it should be, right? I don't write a song about music. You know, this song goes to the 4 chord, then it goes to the 5. That's not a good song. But if you have stories to tell, your music can help you tell it. You know, like a movie is better with the music. And so even when we're teaching music, if you want to call it that, the goal is really to help you to be a better person at life. And when you have a better life, you have more to express through your music. And then people will listen.
I
You know?
love it. And I was going to
Yeah.
ask you, you know, to talk a little bit more about Wooten Woods. I think it's vixcamps.com. If people are interested, they should definitely go and check it out. But it's a little bit about the nature and about the music. And if you don't mind, just tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, if you think, I'm happy to. Thank you for asking. If you think about this, Jimmy, when you see someone that's really good at something, especially if they're young and they haven't been doing it that long, but they're really good anyway, you say, wow, you're a natural. Well, what does being a natural really mean? It means you're live, right? So we all want to be like nature. But in music, they tell us to go away from nature, lock yourself in a room and woodshed, practice. How do you become natural locked in a room? Right? If we really want to be like nature, maybe nature should be the classroom. Maybe nature should be our foremost teacher. That's what we do at Wooten Woods. We use nature for what it has to offer. Yes, we play music. We play a lot of music. But when doing these nature exercises, you find out more about yourself, whether you realize it or not. At our camps, we might make you a little bit uncomfortable because that's when you really learn about yourself, not when everything's going right. It's when things might go wrong. And at our camp, you don't have to do anything we ask you to do, but we offer it to you, and people always say yes. And we make sure that you're safe, you know, but we want to make you uncomfortable. And what ends up happening is when you're uncomfortable with a group of people who are also uncomfortable, you'll go with it and learn, right? And then when we come back to play, a new part of you is playing. And that's what we're looking for.
That is really cool. And Remy has raved and raved, and she's told me, you know, how life-changing it is. So I'm going to kick it to you, Remy. What has been one of your best memorable moments of Wooten Woods?
Oh, gosh. As we keep laughing.
Oh, no.
Well, he wants me to say the crying because I'm emotional. And they don't make you cry there. I'm just an emotional human being. So let's get that here. But really, that's a really actually a tough question because it's just it. Brandon, lay it on. All right, bonus time. I will. Really, it's actually when you walk into Wooten Woods, as a first time camper, which was in 2009. So I'm trying to go back there. You walk in and like it's just so beautiful. It's friendly. It's like full of nature, and especially when you come from a place like Jimmy, where you and I come from. I mean, you were probably more nature oriented than I was, but like I never camped before, like in a tent. So there was all that, and then like they push you out of your box just to an extent where they know you can handle it. But there's always a cushion there, like for like a fallback or whatever. There's just always like a lot of love and support. But there's also like, we're gonna push you as far as we know you can be pushed, because we want to help you and so you can learn. I believe if I misspoken, Victor, please interrupt. But that was my take on it. My first time.
You're absolutely right, Remy. And if I could say something about Remy, is Remy is very emotional. and Remy would cry at the drop of a hat. As soon as she got uncomfortable, the tears would flow. But
it's true.
I could tell that she wanted to do it. She wanted to succeed. But Remy, how long had you been playing bass when you first showed up?
Under a year, I believe.
Yeah.
Or maybe a year, if that.
So very new at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, surrounded by people of all types. So there's a lot of people, a lot of guys that are flashy and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
Remy can't do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
But because she's so emotional, that's what music needs. I'm thinking you have the good part. I'm not wanting her to stop crying. I'm not wanting her to get over that emotion. I just want her to put it into the instrument. But you first just got to get her to try it. Just do it, you know. But Xander too.
I love you, Xander.
Yeah, but Xander's another good example, because I've been able to watch you and her grow so much. And Jenna's out there. Jenna hadn't played at all when she came. I think Jenna could play like one note, but Jenna's like my wife and my kids. Jenna's in theater, so when we had our final jam, boy, did she work that one note.
Hell yeah!
She put on a show with that one note, and Jenna had, because of her theater background, Jenna had that urge to perform, where Remy didn't have that. She was a little too shy. There. What surprised me about Remy is what I didn't expect was for her to keep coming back. And every time she came back, she had grown. She still cried, but she had more. She kept coming back. She had more. And then Remy quickly became like my most valuable player. I said, you know, I would talk about her whenever I wanted to describe the camp. Well, you got to see this girl. Well, you think you're bad. This girl couldn't play at all. And she cried even when we asked her to. And, you know, and Remy impressed me so much over the years that I took her on tour. Was it last year or the year before? I don't remember.
I think it was April 2018. Oh, thanks, Dave.
Well, it was our 20th year anniversary. So if we started in
2019,
had to be 2019.
Yeah.
That we did a tour, and I took, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 students, a bunch of instructors, as well as my brothers, 2 tour buses, and we went on a 2-week tour. And Remy, we jammed on Brick House every night.
We did. And when you first called to ask me about that, I asked you if it was an April Fool's joke.
And it wasn't.
I was like, April Fools?
So basically, this camp is for everybody. You don't have to be as good as Victor Wooten.
No, you don't have to know how to play. You have to go there with a wanting to learn. Sorry, I cut you off, Jimmy. But like, that's very important. Like, all they want you to do is want to learn.
That's it.
Victor doesn't, no offense, Vic, I love you, but he doesn't want to be impressed by your bass playing. He wants you to learn.
Yeah, I want you to impress me with your desire. And your attention and your note taking and because you know, a person who keeps that up is going to supersede the person with talent who doesn't have that work ethic pretty quickly.
I love it. And that's awesome. And I think Remy's mentioned that you have some people that come there and help out as well. I think you mentioned your brothers and a couple other people show up at the camp and give you a little surprise as well.
Oh, yeah, it's not just me at all. If I wanted people to only have my opinion, yeah, I'd be the only teacher. But, Steve Bailey and I have designed lessons ever since 2000, the year 2000 when we started. We've designed lessons to tell you the exact opposite thing. You go to my class, I tell you one thing. You go to Steve's, he'll tell you the opposite. Just to make you think on your own.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, what was that guy's name that was playing just before me? He had a question too. Henry Invisible.
Henry Invisible says,
let me pop him in. He's got a question.
Man, that dude was amazing. There he is. Look at him. Wow.
Oh, shucks. Well,
all that music coming out of one guy.
Man, Vic, I don't know if you remember me opening for you, but sometime in Austin. But anyways, so I read your book, watched a lot of videos. I know that you mentioned that music can come from birds, and they can come from, bird songs, sunshine. They can come from waves, and all that is so resonant with me. And I just want to say that it's amazing and important to hear that come from another human. And I guess my question is when it comes to you in those bird songs, I remember one time I was sitting outside and I heard like a bird orchestra, like literally they followed each other in a pattern, and it started around. And when it comes to you, do you also hear that translated as instrumentation, or is it just something that you just accept at the core value of what it is, the beauty of what it is, the truth of what it is, and just interpret it later?
Good question. Great question. And for me, the answer is all of the above, or maybe even none of the above sometimes. Sometimes I don't know what it means. I just know I heard it, and I accept it, and I'll make something of it later. Sometimes I hear it and it sounded like a bass line. That frog grooved like a bass line, or that bird sang a nice melody. I don't know where it's going to go, but I try to capture it. And usually what I do, is I put my phone in record. I used to travel with a voice recorder that business people would use for office meetings. I would drive with it, but now we have phones. Immediately, I sing it into my phone. Okay, and I'm not trying to have a great voice. I'm trying to sing the emotion that I'm getting from what I'm hearing. So if I can get that emotion into this recording a year later, the emotion will translate back into me and I'll remember what I felt that day. If I'm trying to sing really well, then I'm not really being me, because I don't sing really well. Right? So I go for the emotion of what I heard. If it's loud enough, I'll put my phone up and try to record it. I'll record it and I'll sing in what it meant to me. My main thing is, how can I capture it? And I found that the best way for me to capture it is through emotion. Because that emotion will speak back to me literally a year later, that same emotion. And I have songs that were written that way. And it doesn't always have to come from nature. It could be literally from me hearing you play. I'll hear you play and I'll feel something. And so I will take what I felt and not steal your song, but take the feeling of what your song meant to me. And so I've done that a lot, where I'll record a band and go home and write a song based on that feeling. Right? There's a song that I have called, I can't never remember what I named it. It's either Miss You or Smiling Face. I can't remember what I called it.
It's called Miss You.
Is it called Miss You? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I heard that from hearing a band on the Jam Cruise, and it was the band of brothers called the Lee Boys. They were all relatives, related somehow. And I'm sitting there listening to them play the song, and it gave me a feeling. So I sang my feeling into my phone while they're playing. Later, I went home and wrote that song, but I loved them so much. I brought them to my house to record the music. I just played the melody, and I wanted them included. But inspiration can and does come from everywhere. Most people shut our ears down until we think it's music. But if you open up your ears and your mind and your heart to what music really is, then the inspiration can come from anywhere. And then it's up to you to turn it into music. And I hear you doing that whenever I hear you play. That's what you were just doing, right? And I mean it. When I hear you play, I know it. You're not just playing music. There's more to it than that, right? And once you hear it, you can hear it in other people that hear it too.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that was Henry Invisible. He is a big fan of you, obviously. I'm a big fan of you. We got Nick. He's a big fan of you. But real quick, I just want to shout you out. When I got to see you perform, two of my favorite things you did was, number one was with your brother Reggie. You guys each held up your instrument and you played the other person's. I was like, what? How can you do this? I remember, I think I was at my pinnacle of wasted in the audience going, my brain was shooting out. I was like, this is amazing. And then the other awesome thing you do is you count the time, and then the whole band just changes it right away. So you're like 7, and then everyone does 7. You're like 4, and I'm like, how the heck? I've recorded it, I've watched it back, and I'm like, blows my mind. You are such an amazing performer, and of course, you won a Grammy for that, even the best live performance. And that's how I first discovered you. Was you playing that solo over Dave Matthews' number 41. And I was like, who is this guy? And then I just discovered a whole other realm. You know, I got into your band, Béla Fleck. I don't know if I say it right, Remy. I'm sorry. But anyway.
That was right. Béla Fleck and the Flecktones.
Yeah,
right.
I know. Because then people say Béla, and then they're like, no, it's Béla. But tell me about everything, please. I'm sorry. Tell me about the band. Tell me about the Grammys.
You're being fangirled right now, Vic.
I got my notebook. I'm ready. No.
Tell me about everything.
Ready, set,
yeah.
go.
We will be here until tomorrow morning if you ask him that question.
You know, the main thing is I really, really love what I do. And I honestly love the people that make it possible for me to do it. Like if it weren't for you all, I'd be playing music at home. And it would be a much smaller home probably. But because of people like you, I have a career doing what I love to do. So I'm one of the very lucky, very few making a living doing what they'd be doing for free. But I don't have to do it for free. So I'm indebted to you all for making it happen. So I love doing it. It's a win-win, you know? Now it just so happens, and this will sound egotistical, but it's just true. It just so happens that I'm really good at it. Now, I've been doing it since birth, and that's not a joke. Since birth, I was born into a band. I've been doing it since birth, so I ought to be good at it. That shouldn't be a surprise. I'm good at what I do. And I'm not the best at it. I'm the best me, of course. If you want me, you got to call me. But if you want Remy, you got to call Remy. As good as you might think I am, I'm not good enough to be Remy. You got to call her. So to me, that makes us all the best. But what I've realized is what I end up teaching at the camps and putting in my books. Let me put it to you this way. Let's take someone like a Willie Nelson. Is Willie Nelson the best guitarist that you've ever heard? Is he the best singer that you've ever heard? The answer is no. But why do you stop whatever you're doing whenever he starts singing or playing? What is it then? If he's not the best at what he does, What is it that makes you stop everything to listen? That is what interests me these days. That is what interests me. And what I've found, what I've discovered is that is what everybody has. We don't realize it, but everybody has it. It's because society doesn't cultivate it in us, right? If you're taking a class from a teacher, especially if you're a beginner, you have to learn the teacher's way first. And then a long time later, you have to go back and find your own way, right? The people that we love, regardless of music, sports, athletics, it could be computers, the people that we love are doing it their way. And they're the only ones like that. Willie Nelson is the only Willie Nelson. Right? Bob Dylan is the only Bob Dylan. More than that, they know who they are. And what happens is their realness comes through. And their realness touches the real part of you. And you have no choice but to like it. Right? I was talking to a college this year, part of last year and this year, I'm teaching every month at a seminary college, right? So these are like preachers, and I think I'm the youngest person in the group, or close to the youngest in the whole group. And there was one guy in there talking about didn't like country music, so that just gave me a challenge, right? I didn't say anything. I just let him talk and let the other people talk, and then I said, "Hey, I want you to listen to this for me," you know. And I played a song with Willie Nelson singing. And it just happened to be from my friend Steve Bailey's record. Steve Bailey is a great 6-string fretless player, and he does a duet with Willie Nelson. Just bass and Willie. So you really hear Willie's voice. And I played it for this class. And afterwards, I asked this gentleman what he thought of that song. He was like, "I loved it. It's great." I said, "What did it make you feel like?" "Man, it made me feel," he talked about it all. And then I said, "Well, guess what? That was country music." He said, "I knew you were going to say that." Right? Man, Willie Nelson is real. Right? That's how you can listen to a James Brown, not understand a word he says, but still like it. You can listen to a B.B. King. He might play the same lick over and over. He might even only play the root, but you feel it. So in this whole quest, whatever we call it, we might think I'm learning to be a better bass player, or I'm learning more music theory, but the real quest is I'm learning to be a better me, a more real me. Now, my parents understood that, and so did my 4 older brothers, and that's what helped me grow up understanding it. I didn't really understand it as a kid. It's just what I did because of how I learned to talk. The same way you learn to talk with your own voice. You were never forced to sound like anyone else. I learned music the same way. Now that I understand the preciousness, the gold gem, the uniqueness of what I was given, which was really just an awareness of what I already had. My whole life mission now is to help other people realize that they're the same way.
That's awesome. And I could tell just from all the things Remy's told me, you are definitely accomplishing that. I know it's had a major impact on her, and just from meeting some of the people, online from the camp as well. They love you, no doubt about it. Now, I had to bring on Nick the Viking. He is the bushiest, bearded, nicest Viking you've ever met, Vic. He's got a question for you, too.
He's the bass player.
Oh, yes. All right.
I just have to start out by saying it's an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show and to meet
Thank
you. You're very humble and supportive, and you've actually answered a lot of questions that I've been dying to ask you just by giving us some of your backstory already. But you are such an impressive bass player. I'm dying to know that when you were starting out, what were some of the hardest techniques that you were picking up on when you first started learning them?
Good question. I don't remember a lot of it because I was literally so young that, my earliest memories of playing with the band was I was about 2 years old, playing with my brothers. But one of the things I can remember, I will say this: a lot of the techniques you know me for came out because other techniques were difficult. For example, when I was, let's say, 7 or 8, at this time we've moved to Virginia. A lot of nightclubs, and our shows are from 10 at night to 2 in the morning. And so on a Friday, I'd have to come home from school, do some quick homework. We would hop in the car. I'd have to get in the back of the station wagon and fall asleep. My parents would try to make me take a nap because we'd have a gig in North Carolina, 3 hours away from 10 to 2. So I'm 7 or 8. One of the songs we played a lot was Everyday People by Sly and the Family Stone, right? I am everyday people, right? Yeah, yeah. Da, 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 da. We all love that song, but here's what we don't realize. Larry Graham played one note in that song. One note, a G, over and over. Boom, 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 boom. The whole song is one note. So, that's one of the first songs we teach because a beginner can do it. All you need is rhythm, and who doesn't have rhythm? If you can walk, you have rhythm, right? Literally, your right foot doesn't go faster than your left, Everybody has rhythm. So that's one of the first songs we show people just to show you you're already musical. You're not starting from the beginning. We're just going to get better at it. But at 7 years old, 6, 7, 8 years old, to do this, let me change seriously, playing like this with the thumb, because at this time we finally realized, Larry Graham's hitting it with his thumb. So I'm trying to do this. And when you play in a nightclub, if people are dancing, as long as they're dancing, the song doesn't end. So on the record, it might be 3 minutes and 15 seconds. But on the dance floor, it might be 15 minutes and 3 seconds or whatever. So my little 8-year-old, 7-year-old shoulder gets tired, right? So Reggie, my smart brother, Reggie, teaches me how to use my thumb down and up. So instead of down all the time, I can do half the motion, which almost doubles my endurance. Well, having learned from my brothers, my thought process is, wow, if now I'm still only going down once, the same way I was before. But every now I'm going down once, but getting 2 notes. I wonder how many more notes I can get. That's how my brain worked. So on my way up, I started plucking too, thumb up and then a pluck. Whoa, I wonder if I can pluck twice. Down, thumb up, pluck twice. Pluck 3 times, pluck 4 times. And I'm getting like 6 notes out of one down and up motion. Then it hits me, my left hand's not doing anything. What if I hit notes with my left hand? And I started getting this rapid fire things, notes. And then I realized nobody's doing that. Yeah, so now let's make music out of it. I hate practicing, but I love music. So I create songs that include the exercises. So now I can play songs, but I'm practicing, right? And that's what a lot of the technique that you hear me doing came from that. My brother Joseph's playing these big chords. Reggie's playing these big chords. I want big chords. I can't stretch, so let's do it with 2 hands. That's what Joseph's doing. My brother on the saxophone's doing it, right? You think about a saxophone like this, but if you lay a saxophone on its side, it looks like this. So I can learn from them, so I just had that mindset that was open, where it didn't have to be just the way it was supposed to be done, or it didn't have to just be how I was taught. Growing up with 4 of the best musicians in the world, how could I not be good? So, I mean, I get credit, but I was born into the right place. It was easy because, the same way you speak good English didn't take a lot of work, even though it did take a lot of work. But it wasn't like, I got to practice now. You just had to do it a lot. So I was lucky enough to be playing a lot since birth, really. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I remember the one time we were together, I mentioned this one guy's name to you. He's a live music producer by the name Tom Jackson. And he talks about all the non-musical stuff on stage. And that was something that you really were a big believer in too. You know, I feel like a lot of musicians are missing that. But do you have any tips for anyone on what they could do to kind of bring that part of the game alive?
Absolutely. Just think about this. The music is a gift. My ability is a gift. But a gift in many cases is only as good as the delivery of the gift. So a lot of jazz musicians, even classical musicians, we've developed this gift, violin, bass, whatever, but the delivery may be lacking. Right? Now in pop music, and no disrespect to pop music, but they may have less of a musical gift. In other words, they may not know the jazz harmony, they may not have the technique, but they know how to deliver it. And so their concert halls are filled with tens of thousands of people. While the jazz concert hall that maybe has more of a musical gift and knowledge, you know, we have a few hundred people. So what is the best way to deliver the product? The gift, I call it, because it is a gift. We worked on this thing. It's a gift that we have. How do we deliver this gift? And I'll leave it at this. People can hear good music at home. What's going to make them pay money to come hear it live? It has to be more than what they hear. As Maya Angelou says, people won't remember what you said. They may not remember what you did, but they will always remember how you made them feel. So you want to make your audience feel something, because they won't remember your solo, but they might remember how it felt. They may walk out singing the melody, but not to every song that you played all night, but they will remember how each song felt. So what I'm trying to do, and that's why my brothers and I are doing all this stuff, we're doing that, then we'll come back with a ballad, and then I'll spin the bass, and then we'll come back with some lyrics that make you think. Something's going to make you feel something. And because we don't know who the audience is and what you like to feel, we give you a smorgasbord, a whole buffet of stuff. And one of them is going to stick. So you might remember that our brothers did this. Another guy might remember that I levitated on stage. They don't even know how I did it, but I saw you levitate. Another person might remember the lyrics to this song. Another person might remember the slinging around the neck. Someone might remember the keyboard part. You know, we're giving it all to you. And we also remember that tonight, this is morbid, but tonight might be my last performance.
God forbid.
God forbid, but
Sorry, I had to.
I can remember my last performance with my brother Rudy. I remember that. I didn't know it was the last one, but it was. But fortunately, we put everything into that night. I don't look back on that last gig with Rudy and said, man, I was holding back. I was waiting for the next Dave Matthews gig that night. I didn't even barely play. No, we played. Right? I'd be sobbing right now if I hadn't have played that last night. So you never know. God forbid, or God give, or you don't know what it is or why. But every night it's on, you know. Plus, it's the first, you know, every night is the one night you get to see us. It may be my 100th night in a row, but it's your one night. So we're going to make sure you get the best performance we can give that night.
And you do a great job of it. I will attest to that. One of the best nights of my life. All right, now one thing. Oh, Rem, you want to say something?
Yeah. Do you mind telling that story about how you got Anthony Wellington into the crowd? Do you mind telling that story? Because it's kind of
I don't mind at all. And we do a camp. Well, the new book that Remy held up is called The Spirit of Music.
It's a big part of the book. That's why I kind of went
And
there.
yeah, and we now do a camp called The Spirit of Music. Because there are some people who want to go further than just playing a group of notes. Right? The same way I can say words and really make you feel something. And when I really started looking at music as a language, I had to prove it to myself. in every possible way. And I really started looking at, well, what can a language do? I can say, hey, Jimmy, or hey, Remy, or hey, Nick. If Nick's the only one in the room, if I say, hey, Nick, Nick's the only one that's going to answer me and say, what? Even in a group of 1,000, if he's the only Nick, he's the only one that's going to answer. Now, can I do that with music? That was my question. And basically, I learned that the answer is yes. And I learned how to do it. And now at the Spirit of Music Camp, we get the students to do it. But one of the ways, rather simple, is, and the story Remy's talking about is, I was at a festival in the early days of the Flecktones. In the early days of the Flecktones, our audience was built upon Béla's bluegrass audience. And no disrespect, it was basically white people. So we're playing a big outdoor festival in Maryland, and there's 1,000 or 2,000 white people in the audience. Didn't bother me. We're just playing our music. But in the back right-hand corner from my side, it's actually in the audience side, back of the left, but from my side, the back right-hand corner, I see a short little stocky black dude. And I'm thinking, that dude does not play banjo. My brother Roy is the only drumatar player in the world. He doesn't play drumatar, and Howard's over here playing harmonica. That dude don't play harmonica. That dude's a bass player. And he looks like he's about my age, my height. I bet he grew up listening to the same music. He's in Maryland. I grew up just a little south of here in Newport News, Virginia. We're influenced by the same music, I bet. This is all a guess. I said, but let me find out. So in the middle of a Flecktones song, I stick in a bass line from a Parliament Funkadelic song, just for a couple of bars. And in the back of the room, I see a guy do this. And I'm like, got him. Got him. Called his name. Out of the whole audience, called his name. So, of course, once the show's over, we make a beeline through the audience. Shake hands, man. What's your name? My name's Anthony. I'm Victor. Oh, man, you play bass? Yeah, I play bass. We've been friends ever since. Right? So that's one way of calling a person's name. So another example would be if I'm playing a show and I see a person that looks like they might be from Korea. Guess. Play a part of a Korean melody. Ari Rong might be a song. You play a piece of that melody. That person, doesn't matter what they're doing. When they hear a piece of home, they'll stop, look in your direction. Instant friend, instant fan. They'll buy everything you got. They'll keep in touch with you, whatever. So there are different ways of connecting to people. That's just some of the ways. But there are many different ways of connecting to people. And now that is my goal if I'm on stage. I want to connect with as many people as possible. Because if you do it in the right way, they will be your friend forever.
That is so freaking smart. I honestly, there's some of the best advice I've ever got.
Yeah.
That's why you got to go to camp, Jimmy. You got to go to camp, man.
Trust me, it's something I definitely want to do. I don't know if Vic can take me a whole week, though, but we'll find out.
Sure, there's a lot of woods to bury you in if he can.
Exactly. He disappeared. I don't know. He wouldn't stop talking.
I see Brandon Blake out there, man. I don't know if you have. We'll have to see who has more energy, Brandon or Jimmy James.
It'll be a good challenge. You can wind this up and let us go. The one thing I always like to do on the show is I like to bring it a little bit non-musical. I mean, everyone, I'm sure, is so familiar with a lot of your songs in your catalog, but I love to show them the other side. Like, maybe what's one of your favorite foods, or what's the right type of pizza and pizza topping, or ice cream and ice cream topping? Like, we want to know the real Vic here. What are you getting into?
Pizza?
Yeah. I mean, I love food. I ate so much junk food yesterday. You know, my daughter, I was out yesterday morning. My daughter was like, will you buy some some Super Bowl snacks. And my daughter don't care about no Super Bowl. She just knows if dad goes to the store, he comes home with a lot of junk food.
The good stuff.
So, man, we had regular Oreos. We had the chocolate covered Oreos, the peanut butter M&Ms, Reese's cups. Cameron likes sour worms. So, I mean, and I mean the big bags. So, what else do we have? We had all kind. Oh yeah, my kids like chips and hummus, so we had chips and hummus and salsa and guacamole. Holly made pizzas, so pizza is probably one of my favorite foods. Pizza. So Holly she made a couple homemade pizzas last night, and one of the pizzas had. I'm the only one of my brothers that eats meat, and we let one friend of mine hunt at our Wooten Woods location. And in Tennessee, probably not only Tennessee, the deer are getting a bit out of control. And you know, there's this one car dealership that made up T-shirts because we keep, not just us, but so many people keep showing up because they hit deers on the road. And so they give you a T-shirt that you belong to the deer club. I forget what they call it.
Tennessee, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, this pizza, one of the pizzas last night had some chopped up roasted deer meat on it. Ooh. That Holly made, and the meat was actually from Wooten Woods. I know that may sound morbid, but if you're going to eat meat, that's the best way to do it. Is not the grocery store.
The rattlesnake.
Well, yeah, I don't share all those stories, but we've eaten a lot of stuff at camp. We've had rattlesnake probably 3 times. Yeah.
Oh shoot!
Oh yeah. But you know, I love a lot of different things other than music. You know, and I believe that's what infuels my music. And if you come to our camp, I introduce you to a lot of those things. I'll bring in a kung fu instructor. I bring in a tai chi instructor, a yoga instructor. We might throw boomerangs one day. We might shoot archery another day. We're definitely going to go tracking animals, and we're going to make fires with sticks, you know. And then we might play hot potato around the campfire at night, you know, with a live coal. Who knows?
Don't play picture and ping pong. You're going to lose. Do not play
ping pong too. Yeah, we got the ping pong table upstairs. But yeah, but like I say, you know, music should be more than just music. And if you have an interesting life, that's going to infuse. It's going to fuel your music, you know, with life, and that's what people want to hear. That's what people will definitely feel. Yeah,
I love it. And Nick, I know I keep going. Do you have another question too?
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're asking great questions. You're getting really insightful, Victor, and I appreciate everything you're offering. Is there anything that you really like to do before or after a show?
Eat Thai food. Before and or after.
Nice.
Seriously. And I'm not joking at all. I remember somebody said it, and I hadn't even thought about it. They said, hey, if you want to find Victor before a show, just find the nearest Thai restaurant. And that's pretty much true. But Nick, I don't have a ritual. I don't have any kind of ritual, but I do try to make sure that my mind is in a good place. I don't want to be worried, upset. And I'm lucky that I'm surrounded by good people. Like, you know, my wife is usually home making sure the kids, the dog, the bills, everything's taken care of. My manager, Danette Alberta's taking care of my business life. So my home life's taken care of, my business life. I got a lot of friends like Remy who will contact me before a show. I'm here, want to go eat, whatever. You know, so my mind's in a good place. When my mind is in a good place, my anything that my mind directs will be in a good place. So I don't want to have rituals because on a night or superstitions, because on a night that I can't do that ritual, I'll get worried. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm just doing what I do every day. You know, I just get to do it in front of a bunch of happy people who want to see me do it, you know. So I just try to stay as relaxed as possible. And if I get the chance to warm up, which is rare, because I'm usually hanging with friends beforehand or whatever. If I warm up my whole body. Now, it's rare that I do this before a show, right? I exercise if I do anything, and I want to get my whole body, because it's my whole body that's playing the music, not my fingers. So I like to warm up my whole body. I remember when I did a tour, and I had a lot of my brothers, Anthony Wellington, Divinity, Sandra Williams. Man, before the show, it would look like a boxing match was about to start. Anthony and Joseph are shadow boxing. Other people are doing push-ups. It's like, I like this. This is about to go down, And anyway, so, that's my approach, as I want my whole body to be warmed up. But it's this, because this is what's going to direct it. If my mind's in a good place, my body's going to follow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, man. You got so much good stuff. All right. I got one more surprise guy. He was on the show earlier. He's performing after you, but he is like a mega fan. I'm going to pull Kevin on real quick. He's got a question for you, too.
What's up, Kevin?
It's a pleasure to meet you.
My pleasure, man.
Hey, I just wanted to say how tremendously validating it has been to listen to you.
Thank you.
I know you through the Dave Matthews Band. That's how I learned of Béla and the rest of the guys. I saw you open for them in 2000. One of the most incredible things I've ever seen. But I don't know that I ever really got to know you as other than a bass player. And I'm a songwriter. Is and always will be a drummer as well, and so I'm curious about. I had to bone up on some of my Victor Wooten, and I pulled out an old VHS tape of you and Carter Beauford, and Jimmy, I'm glad that you mentioned time earlier and how you call out time during your shows, because I was watching it earlier this afternoon. And I had not seen this in probably like 20 years. And I remember in one of my first bands, my college band, we all sat around and we watched this, and we're like, well, I guess we aren't going to practice today because I never want to touch my instrument ever again. But I just want to say, to watch you blow Carter Beauford's mind. I don't remember the song, but the time changed so many times.
Yeah.
And somebody like Carter, eventually he gets used to what it is. But to see him trip up was just, it was just, as a drummer and a fan of Carter, just very fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, I know exactly what you're talking about. That was Making Music was the name of the video, and fortunately Carter did that for me. To go back a little bit, Carter's from a little bit north in Virginia than my brothers and I are from, but we knew each other way before the Dave Matthews Band.
Okay.
Right? Carter was in a band called Secrets, which was one of the top jazz fusion bands in Virginia back in the 80s. And of course, my brothers and I, we were the Wooten brothers, so we were playing jazz and fusion and R&B. So the good musicians knew each other.
Yeah.
So we were friends with Carter and a lot of those musicians. And a lot of those musicians, Tim Reynolds, who was the guitar player in Secrets, they all became the Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
Right? So we were just happy to see them rise to what they have become. And there's a whole interesting story there. I mean, just when I was talking about being real and being who you are, Dave is proof of that. He's just being him.
Yeah.
And as my brother Roy says, Dave's like the Forrest Gump of music. It's like he's kind of goofy, but he's kind of cute and kind of sexy. Then he plays guitar. Is he the best? Not the best, but I never heard anyone like, he's just him. He's just him. And it works. Because he's the only Dave Matthews there is.
Right.
And then he plays this weird chords and rhythms on the guitar. And then he's got this fusion drummer, and then back when they had Leroy, this saxophone player that liked to stand in the dark You know, the spotlight would be here and he'd be there right outside with his glasses on, you know, like Sonny Rollins or just a different band. Then they had Boyd Tinsley sawing at the.
Yeah.
It was just a crazy band, but it was what it was, and it's still what it is. You know, so it pays, and they did it for a long time before you knew who they were.
Sure.
So it pays to do what you do, right?
Well,
But anyway, with that was my record called. That was my Yin Yang record, and that was a double record. And the last two songs on the instrumental side was a song called Zenergy and then a final song called Resolution. Both of those are in weird time signatures. Now, the one song, Resolution, is just, I think it's in 6/4, sort of like a 3, but the phrase is in 6 instead of 3. But I had Carter do a bunch of subdivisions of that 6, where he played 4/4 over the 6 and all this stuff. Yeah. This in the video, Carter had never heard those songs until he got to the session, till he got to the studio.
No kidding.
It's not like I sent it to him weeks before and say, hey, learn this, be prepared. No, he was learning it on camera. And what, I mean, of course, you didn't see it all. We had to cut it down to a 2-hour video or whatever. But you saw him learning it on camera, and then you saw him play the final version, and he nailed it. Right, so this is a genius, a guy who walks in. Here's these songs, and then I'm not making it easy on him. I'm like, okay, Carter, yeah, that's a great subdivision. You got those two, but here's another one. You know, I need this subdivision too. And it wasn't in the day where we just punched it in. You know, this was still back in the day where you played it all the way through.
Right. So how much do you rely on theory? I guess is what. So I'm just new to teaching myself, and I try to do it. So what I was saying earlier was that it's so validating to hear you talk, because you just put so much emphasis on the emotion that goes with music, which is one of the things that I try to teach my students, is that forget about the notes, forget about that. Think about what you're feeling and put that into the music. You know, when I've got students that are sitting on Zoom that are literally sitting their head on top of a guitar, you know, they're clearly they're not there, you know, and so just to hear you put that emphasis on the emotion is a really validating thing to hear.
Well, sure. I mean, when you're talking, you're not thinking nouns, verbs, pronouns, and participles, right? And you don't want me thinking about it listening to you.
Yeah.
Right. And even if you try to think of nouns and verbs and all that stuff, which is the theory of English, it's going to be harder for you to talk. Mm-hmm. Right. But when you're emotional, the words come out on their own. That's what we want. Right. So when I'm driving a car, I've got tools, I've got a spare, but it's in the trunk. And I hope I never have to see them. Right? They're not right here in the passenger seat and I'm like driving and looking at my spare tire. No, I hope I never have to see them. But if I do need those tools, that spare better be pumped up, ready to go. And I need to know how to use those tools. To me, that's theory. I hope I never have to see it. But if I do, I better know what to do with it. So a lot of people will think I say don't learn theory, there's no need for it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying learn it well, but use it only when you need it. The same way we talk. If I need an adjective, I know what an adjective is. I need a noun, I know what a noun is. I know what a verb is. Well, who wants to think of that when it's time to talk? So why would you think of theory when it's time to play? Just my version of it.
Yeah, it can get in the way kind of from the flow of what you have going on. Now, you are so amazing.
But Jimmy, Jimmy, let me just add this to this. Not knowing it can get in the way also. So I got to just add that in there. Yes, we can let theory get in the way, but sometimes not knowing it can get in the way. So I say know it and then know what to do with it. So it's there when you need it. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Please, anything you got to say, we want to hear it. Everyone rather hear it. They hear me talk every week. They want to hear you. Trust me. So
Thank you.
I want to bring it back to the book. You know,
Yeah.
one thing you mentioned that it seems like a little bit of the theme is in camp and in the book, you mentioned you want to push people a little bit. And when I heard you on your live stream the other day about telling us about your book, you said there's some things in there that might, you know, get people to think a little bit. So I see that you really do that.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I realize in life that we learn maybe more when we're uncomfortable. And most definitely, if we have a relationship, friends, marriage, whatever, parent, son, daughter, the true testament of that relationship is not when we agree, but when we don't agree. Right? So I found that when something bugs me or I don't know about that, that's when I have the most opportunity to learn about myself. If I say I don't like bluegrass, in most cases, I will blame bluegrass and then I'm done with it. I just put bluegrass away. But if I realize that nothing's wrong with bluegrass, it's me that doesn't like it, then I have a chance to grow. If I just blame the other thing, I'm already grown, right? My grown is nothing for me. You gotta change. But when I own up to what I don't like or what's bugging me, then there's an opportunity for me to grow. So that's what I want from the book. I want to poke at you just a little bit more. So, you know, I'm going to the book picks at a religion a little bit. There's going to be all sorts of things in there that you're going to say, I don't know about that. But you're going to have to think about it. Remy knows what I'm talking about. When my brothers come to camp, they share a bunch of weird stuff. And it makes you like, you know what? No way, you know. But too much of it is a coincidence that you have to think about it. You have to think about this because it's too much. So, you know, people will fight to the death over religion.
Mhm.
So let's talk about it. Right? So, you know, there's a part where I relate music to religion. You know, I will tell you this one part. There's a part where my character, Victor, is driving in the car and the other character, Ali, is in the back seat asleep. And this is something that I do to this day. When I want to practice music theory and I'm in the car by myself, I put on the country music station. Because the country music chords, they move by easily. It's not like jazz where I can't keep up. Country music goes from the 1 to the 4 to the 6 minor to the 2, easy. So I practice the theory, right? So at one point, I can't remember what, I might say something, you know, F major, A minor, and then I say G sus, and Ali wakes up and says, "Oh, are you praying, my brother?" And it starts this whole relation between music and the G sus chord, right? And it's crazy stuff. But if you think about a G sus chord, right? It's a dominant chord. But Jesus was a dominant figure. You make a sus chord by raising the third. Jesus was raised on the third day. The dominant chord's main purpose is to lead you back to the one. I'll stop there.
I think he just killed both of them.
I'll stop there. Yeah, you know, but it goes on, and it's crazy. At first, you're like, but the coincidences keep coming.
Mm-hmm.
Keep coming. I mean, it's crazy, you know. So it talks about different things about religion, about like how the Essenes, you know, there was a group called the Essenes who supposedly taught Jesus and taught a bunch of religions. They were like the secret hidden place, you know. But I'm also talking about in the book how everyone's gravitating to Nashville, you know. But if you spell Tennessee backwards, it spells Essene net. All right. And so these coincidences just keep coming, and I'm hoping some of them poke at you a little bit,
Wow.
but they don't stop just because it pokes at you. They keep coming, you know. And so it's an interesting book. It's a lot of stuff, but the overall goal is to hopefully get people to listen to music, to feel music, to play real music, to be more of yourself. I don't have to sound like Adele if I'm going to sing. I don't have to play bass like Victor Wooten if I'm going to play. Right? The fact that you have the only fingerprint that's ever been like this in the history of humankind, the only one that'll ever be here ever again, it lets you know you have something to offer that no one else does. And it makes more sense to paint your own picture, play your own song. And then, like Béla Fleck told me, if you play your own game, no one can ever beat you.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Can I have you talk about one more thing? I know you've been on for way longer than you
Now,
anticipated.
you're becoming a Wooten brother now. Just one more thing. We're like 4 hours into it. Just one more thing. Of course, Remy.
And I'm not going to even try to quote you on this, but I have seen you talk about it for the past, I don't know, last week and a half. It's about the A440 thing, but I wish
Sure.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Well, I mean, I won't go deep into it,
I know,
but
I'm sorry. I know you want
this
to go.
is something that, no, it's good. It's a good topic. And this is a thing that you can find out on the internet if you look up scientific tuning. But, we tune normally to A440, which means if something vibrates 440 times in a second, it's going to produce a certain octave of what we call A. Well, there's been some study and history shows that at some point, the standard tuning was A432. So some people, it's like a conspiracy theory. Some people say it's better or worse. I don't really care whether it's better or worse. The one thing I do notice is that 432 relates to the Earth. Beyond the Earth. I should say the solar system. Much better. Okay, when you take the numbers and look at like Fibonacci sequence, it relates to how flowers grow, how tornadoes spin, how the water goes down the drain, and all of that, as well as our bass clefs and treble clefs, right? Which is based off of that golden ratio. But if you just take 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, you realize, wow, this sounds like we're talking about gigabytes. 64 gigabytes, 128 gigabytes. You don't get 129 gigabytes. It's 128, 256, which is the note C in 432 scientific tuning. So you see these numbers showing up everywhere. And my brother likes to show you these numbers. They'll never tell you that this is better. You need to play your music tuned to 432 because they don't do it. They just want to show you where these numbers keep showing up and let you draw your own conclusions. And it shows us to you, and this is all in the new book. Like if you just multiply 432 times 432, it'll shock you what the number is. Right? Half of 432 is 216. 432 times 216. Right? These numbers will shock you as to what they are. Right? The Bible talks about 666, the number of the beast. Multiply 6 times 6 times 6. You'll get 432. Right? These numbers just keep showing up. And that to me is what interests me. They say that our heart beats, if you look it up on Wikipedia, your heart beats an average of 72 beats per minute. Right? Multiply that by 60 seconds. Multiply it by 60 minutes. Multiply it by 24 hours. You'll find out that your heart's beating about 864,000 beats in a day. Divide that in half. That's 432,000. That's 432 again. Right? It just keeps coming back. So who's to say that music is better? I don't know. But I do know that Mozart's music, when he tuned there, hundreds of years later, we're still talking about it. And Cardi B or someone like that whose music is tuned to 440, that might last about a month or two. Nothing against Cardi B at all. But there is something to say about it, and it's worth thinking about. So, as Morris Day always says about his new book, it's in the book.
I knew that was coming.
You have so much insight when it comes to not only music, but just being in tune with your surroundings and everything else. Are there any personal development writers or speakers that you like to study to kind of give you some more motivation?
Yeah. There's a interesting new woman that I've only recently met, and she seems kooky. And her name is Eileen McCusick. McCusick. It's like McCusick, I think. Eileen, Eileen. She's weird, but I love weird. She literally takes tuning forks, and it's another way of using music. Remy, we know this woman who uses harps. We've bowls.
Mm-hmm.
This woman uses tuning forks, and she does it from a distance. She can do it from a distance, but I'll just say claims. To her, it's not a claim. She's working with a company that's actually scientifically studying the benefits of it. But she tunes what we might call a aura, but she tunes your astral body with tuning forks. And she says she hits the tuning fork and puts it over part of your body, whether you're there or not, over a part of your astral body, and depending on how it hits her ear, if it sounds off, there's something going on there. And she just came out with a new book. It's interesting that we both came out with books, which is one of the reasons we started talking to each other, because the cover of my book has this DNA helix, but it's made of music notes.
Oh, nice.
Because what we don't realize is that when we're writing music's DNA. We write it flat, but if it spins, you'll see the DNA, right? Music can't come to life without musicians. Music exists, but it's born when a musician and an instrument come together. The mother and the father produced a child, and then we can write it with DNA and all of that stuff. So her book has the same type of thing on it, DNA with the colors, and we're like, wait a minute, how did this happen? Her book was released just a few days before mine, but her book is called The Electric Body, I think, or The Body Electric. Eileen McCusick, and it's really weird. McCusick. So I've been going through her book, and as out as it is what attracts it to me. I always say, if the world is run by normal people, point me towards crazy, because I need someone who doesn't think like normal people, if that's who's running the world. And this woman is crazy in the best sense of the word. I've been going through her new book that just came out. I was fortunate enough to meet her on a talk, and she was talking about her book, and I was like, I want to know more about that. So she sent me an advanced copy, and I've been getting through that. So that's one of the things that's really neat, because it's another way of looking at sound, right? I think many of us have seen people taking the vibrations of sound and all the shapes they make in sand or in water and stuff like that. We've seen that. So what do you think it's not doing to our body? Right? Our body's mostly water anyway. So we think that music's just hitting the ears, right? Are we that naive? Like music goes straight from your drum or your instrument to my ear? No, music's going everywhere. And it's hitting us and affecting us everywhere. And so science is starting to realize that this music that we've been playing is a whole lot more powerful than we have realized. And there's some people that are even figuring it out more than the scientists. In other words, a scientist is just proving that we're right. you know, where you can go to a place like Berkeley and get a Berkeley College of Music and get a degree in music therapy, right? It's a new day and age. And so if anyone's going to know about music, it should be us musicians. But for most of it, it stops at theory. For many of us, it stops at a bass or a piano. But the music itself goes much further than that. And that's where my head is at these days.
And speaking of Berkeley, I believe you've taught classes there as well, right?
I teach there officially a week every month. So I'm on the bass faculty. So I have to be there a week. No, I should say I'm privileged to be there a week every month. But now that everything's virtual, I'm there a lot. And I got the best boss in the world. My boss is Steve Bailey, who we've been friends since the early 90s. You know, he knows what I'm good at. He knows what I love to do. He knows what I'm not good at and what I don't love to do. So he has me do what I'm good at. You know, so it's really nice. I don't have to give grades. Most of the time, I don't even have to take attendance. I just, you know, the goal for my classes is that you walk out of here today better than you came in. That's it.
And if they're missing your class, they're an idiot. So
that's true. But the Berkeley things you and Steve have done, like for free for the public, have been also great, and like a huge part of the pandemic, and like helping people like me out. Like they really appreciate
those webinars have been great, and there's more coming. You know, it's really cool with this pandemic and this quarantine. It's really opened up a lot of people's hearts.
Yeah.
You know, because those people at the webinars, whether it's the greatest, the most recorded jazz bassist ever, you know, Ron Carter, or some of the biggest rock bands from Tool to Megadeth to Metallica, you know, they're all there, and in most cases they're just giving up their time. Just for us and you. You know, where it would have been hard and impossible to pull these things off weekly. How much money that would cost, flying people in, paying their fees and their hotels and per diems. But right now, everyone's at home. The playing ground has leveled.
Yeah.
So thinking of that, let me say this, and I haven't heard anyone say it any better than Steve Bailey. If you want to join what we call this music business, there's not a better time than now. If you think about this is the business, and it's on a train moving like this, and you're trying to follow it, and the train has stopped. So there's been a lot of people who are like, well, I'm not going to go to college this year. I'm going to defer it. You know, that's fine. More power to you. But when it train starts again, you're still that far behind it. Here's your chance to catch up and possibly even get on this train so that when it takes off, you can get on it. Because everybody who's on that train is willing to talk to you right now. You know where they are. They're at home. Right? And they're looking for someone to play for or to talk to. Right? This is the chance to reach out, contact these people. Everybody's on social media, and they will talk to you. Mm-hmm. Right? So here's your chance to not stop. If nothing else, pick up speed and catch up. Because a lot of people like me, we're finding out, I love this home life.
Oh no! I mean, it was great, but oh no!
I haven't had it. I haven't had this in over 30 years. And this is not an exaggeration. Over 30 years, I have not spent a month at home. So I've been away every month of my kids' lives. So to be able to wake up with them and go to, when they wake up for school, wake up with them just because I can. And to sit with them at the dinner table and to, see my daughter when she opens her acceptance letter to her college of her choice, to be able to take my son to get his driver's license. This is the real part of life I've been missing.
Cam's got his driver's license already?
Believe it or not, he did.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I had to interrupt you on that.
Yes. He drove to school and back the other day for his first time by himself.
Oh my God.
Because normally Ariana, who's 17, drives with him, and so now that he has his license, they take turn. But for whatever reason, Ari wasn't going to school that day, so Cameron drove to and from. But I got to be there.
It's awesome.
You know, and that's time I won't get back. And I'm 56 now, right? You know, I'm not sitting around. When I get closer to the end of my life, I'm not going to be sitting there thinking, man, I should have practiced more. I should have done more gigs. It's going to be, man, I should have spent more time with my kids. They're all gone now. I should have spent more time with my wife. You know, all these things that who I am when I put the bass down. And a lot of us, we define ourselves by what we do so much that we've lost touch with who we are. And this pandemic time has had a lot of us have to reassess who are we. Because a lot of us are depressed because we can't do what we do. And it's life's way of making us look at what's really real. I'm not what I do. Right? I express who I am through what I do. But if I do what I do at the risk of forgetting who I am, but I'm not in the gym right now. I'm loving it. So I don't know. I might not go out there anymore. I might see it. Let's put Remy out there. Remy and the Flecktones.
Yeah, okay.
You ready for that, Remy?
I'm coming by you. I'm going to clean up camp. I don't know anything else.
No, I'm serious. I'm joking, but I'm serious. I don't know that I would ever want to give up touring. But I don't think I'll ever tour the way I did in the past. I don't think I ever will, For one, I'm lucky that I don't have to. Life has been good to me because you all have been good to me. And I love my kids and my family too much to be away from them as much as I have been. Yeah.
Yeah, they grow up quick, I'll tell you. But I'll tell you what, this has been one of the best nights of our lives. And there are so many comments going on that I'm not putting up on screen for you. But people are saying all stuff like this. Damn, this man is dropping some real knowledge tonight.
I can't see the Facebook messages. Oh, God.
I think everybody is just blown away.
Kathy Beal signed on. Is Kathy Beal still there?
Kathy was here, yeah.
Yeah, Kathy was here.
I know a lot of these people, they're just my friends, so they're saying good stuff.
They love you. I'll tell you what. All my friends are here, too. They just can't believe this is happening. Neither can I. So, oh, my gosh. But all right, now listen, it was interesting. I got into a little bit. I saw this crazy video about how the music affects the mind, and they put the electrodes up to the outside of the brain. And it really is interesting. Jazz music lights up the brain. Indian music I've seen lights up the brain. Certain ones dull it down a little bit. And, as we were kind of mentioning before, it was actually quite interesting. But Kathy's still here, by the way.
Hi, Kathy.
But, she's still here, yes. But I was curious, of those guilty pleasures, is there like a song that you were growing up that you listened to and you're like, I can't believe Victor Wooten is listening to this song? Was it like one of those songs? I mean, I don't want to, make you, ruin your cred here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing that comes to mind at the moment was I used to not like Madonna at all.
Fair.
Because, and this is just me, I don't like tomatoes. Doesn't mean tomatoes are wrong. Just not my taste. Madonna wasn't my taste. And I was young, naive. I just didn't get it. And this is just me, and I know I'm being offensive when I say this, and I apologize. Hopefully Madonna's not watching. And maybe I hope she is. No, man, actually I hope she is because I had a big turnaround. I love her now. I get it. I mean, I totally love her. But I couldn't find her talent To me, she wasn't a good singer. She wasn't the most beautiful woman I'd seen, and she was supposed to be a trained dancer. I didn't think she could dance. She didn't move that well to me. So what was the big deal? I found out the big deal when I learned her song and played it on the dance floor. And I went, whoa, they don't get up and dance to my songs. So how can a person with no talent that I said make it like that? Who's missing something, her or me? Me.
What was it that you found that made people dance? The groove or what?
The groove is part of it, but the other part of it is that it was Madonna's song.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. I could write a song with that same groove or even a better groove in my opinion, but it was my song. Who cared about my song? They cared about Madonna's song. How was Madonna reaching millions of people, having every little girl put on a skirt and bracelets and try to dress like the material girl?
Was it like a fashion trend? Like what was it? I was barely born then.
Here's where it started.
I'm sorry?
Here's where it started with Madonna. So I used to buy my wife in the early years for Christmas gag gifts for Christmas. And every year I would buy her like the autobiography of Britney Spears or something.
Great.
Knowing she didn't care. But I bought the Madonna book one year and I read it. And I woke up that day. What Madonna lacked in talent, she totally made up in confidence and perseverance. When she would say, you're no good, she would say, you're wrong. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove you wrong. You watch. She did not stop. And she showed everybody, including me, that she was right. And I was the snob.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. She knew what people wanted. And in many cases, and this is not a negative towards her at all. In many cases, people don't want good music.
It's true.
People want an experience. And Madonna gave them that. Here she was. I mean, she was sometimes rude, sometimes a little too sexual, sometimes not enough sexual, but totally her. Totally her. And there wasn't anyone like her during that era. It was like she was the new Marilyn Monroe or whatever. That was just a little risque, a little more than the norm, more than what's allowed. And she gave little girls courage. And all the men loved her.
Interesting.
As the same way Muhammad Ali, when he found out that people would pay to see him lose, he started talking more, making people hate him. Because he said black people are going to pay to see him win, white people are going to pay to see him lose. The thing was, everybody was paying.
That's right.
Well, everyone was paying to see Madonna. And the music was okay. But because of who she was, the icon that she created, it made the music better.
Very interesting.
Right? But she knew that before the rest of us did. And she stuck to it, even when other people told her she was wrong.
Yeah, you gotta believe, and you know the one thing you said that you know stuck with me, gave me a little bit of strength. For anyone else out there, was you said some people like tomatoes and some people don't like tomatoes, and it doesn't mean that tomatoes aren't good. It's just they're not for everyone.
Right. Exactly right. And once we realize that, it's easier. It's easier. Our habit is to blame the thing we don't like, blame the person we don't like, rather than deal with the fact that it's me that doesn't like it. And then I have that tendency to grow. And if you research or try what you don't like, you might find out you do like it. Especially when it comes to people, find out why you don't like them. Talk to them. Find out who they are. Why they have that tendency that you don't like. And like with Madonna, when I found that out, I love Madonna. Love Madonna now. I get it. I really do.
That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, it is such an honor to have you. I could talk to you all night, but I feel bad. We've had you on quite a bit, so we totally understand if you want to duck out. But before I let you go, I got to pull a Wooten's brother thing here. One more thing.
One more thing.
Oh God, poor Vic. Vic, I'm sorry in advance.
I'm home. I'm home.
I'm kidding, Jimmy. I'm totally
No, it's
I'm
fine.
home. This is cool. I'm just right home here. I love it.
Where's
Perfect.
the life-size Spider-Man? Is that in the drum room still?
It's right over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's right behind that closed door you see. Right behind that door.
Well, all right. You won a Grammy Award for bass solo in Sinister Minister. How did you guys get the idea to put that with number 41? Who was it? Your idea? Were you like, noticed it was the same key? How did that end up coming about?
Well, it wasn't Sinister Minister that we put with 41. We put another song. I didn't write Sinister Minister, but the song we put with 41 I did write. And it's called The Sojourn of Arjuna.
Oh,
And it's a melody that we play. Sinister Minister is more of a funky tune that Béla wrote, and he always features me on it. Because Béla wrote that song, Sinister Minister, as a Latin tune. But Roy and I when Béla played it, we just heard funk on it. You know, Béla's smart. When he shows us a new song, he doesn't say, "Hey, here's a new Latin song in the key of G or in the key of D minor." He just starts playing it, and that allows us to have a first impression, rather than our first impression being through what he told us. He just starts playing. My brother Roy just put funk, behind it. I heard the drums. I put the thumb on it. And all of a sudden, this song in a whole new way, and he liked it, and it never changed. But with 41, it's another song. It's probably Béla's idea to take that melody of mine from a song called The Sojourn of Arjuna, and it fit totally over those 4 chords that Stefan plays. And now, it worked for Dave and the guys too. So now, whenever we see the Dave Matthews Band, we automatically know we're going to play 41 for at least 41 minutes.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. Well, you are the best. We got the best bass player on in the world onto the Stereo Joe show. I could die tomorrow and be a happy man. So,
God forbid. I'm gonna throw that God forbid in every time anybody says.
Right?
Well, I can't wait until you come back to New York. I'll be at that show screaming for you again. I might even bring a big sign this time that says, "I love you, Vic." No, really.
Don't do that. We're not going to the show together if you bring us a big sign.
I'm wearing my I'm with Remy shirt. Are you kidding? But honestly, thank you so much for coming on the show. Truly a freaking honor. And I'm going to let you guys talk. I'm shutting up real quick.
Well, you're right about that. When you do come to New York, just let us know, because we also need to get you out to PA as well.
Well, I tell you, if I'm coming to New York, Remy will know before I know.
I'll let you all know. I know before Vic knows when he's coming to New York.
Exactly. But yeah, we'll definitely have to get together and go out and eat some either Thai food or pizza.
No, but you can't take me to eat pizza because I'm gonna leave the top. I'm gonna eat the tops and leave the whole pizza.
All right.
One of those.
I have one of those, as Victor learned quickly.
Hey, but I gotta say this. I'm reading the chat and I'm seeing a lot of names of people that I know and who have been so kind to me over the years. They've I get a lot of credit for the camps that I do, but there's a lot of people out there that have helped make the camps what they are. And so I appreciate all you out there. I'm not even going to start naming people because I'm going to leave out some, but I thank you all for being there. I will say Kathy Bill. I will say her name because I've known Kathy longer than I've known my wife. And Kathy is just such a special person. They're all special people, but Kathy, Kathy's my Spider-Man hookup. I got all kinds of little things like crazy crazy little things like this.
And she got you that Spider-Man comic book cover thing.
Yeah, she
Right?
put me on the cover of a Spider-Man, a real Marvel
Yeah, that was
comic.
the coolest.
Yeah, so Kathy's been around and such a huge supporter of me and my camps, and well before I knew Remy or my wife even. Kathy and I were good friends. We were a part of a group of I don't even know what you call it, but a group that was a nationwide group. And when she moved to when she moved to Virginia, the leader of that group had her contact me. So I knew her from when she first got to Virginia. She could actually tell you the exact date. She remembers all that kind of stuff. I don't. But she's just been such a great friend.
Yes,
And I'm with you, Brandon. We love you, Kathy. We do. She's a wonderful person. She's now since moved back to Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan, which is really good for me because my son is in college in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So I know that I've got some family there with Kathy and her sisters. I know they're watching out for my son. So thank you for that. Love you too, Kathy. And all my friends out there. I love you all. Thank you so much. Of course, you, Remy. We got a tour.
I love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Remy taught me how to take selfies. Yeah, on tour. She gave me selfie lessons. So
I did.
Yeah.
I am good for the selfie lessons. That's what I could teach somebody.
Kathy says we met in June 1984.
Kathy would remember that. Love you.
She
Kathy.
does remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely. I'll keep talking to you, but I know
Was that
probably
before you met
gotta go.
Seafood?
You know what? I'm happy to talk, but I know you got another musician who's going to come on and play, right?
Well, Kevin was going to close out this show for us. He was, the guy that was just on to ask you a question before. He's like Dave Matthews 2.0. So he's got a song, and he's like, I can't wait. So you got to check him out. But anyway, yeah,
I will. Yeah, I don't want to take up this time.
He doesn't mind. He said he's down to he's just loving you right now. So he's good either way. But anyway, but really, thank you so much. I don't even know what it's never gonna get any better than this. So thanks again.
You got to go to camp, Jimmy. We're going to camp next time. I'm dragging you.
Yeah.
So we can all be together in person, and I can clean toilets.
Yeah, as soon as we get back to being able to do the camps in real life, but watch my website, because I'll be doing camps online soon in the next few months or in the next few weeks. We will announce our schedule, but the camps, I'm hoping by late fall at earliest that we can do something at Wooten Woods. I'm hoping that we can get people back to the place. There's the website. And you can click on education. It'll take you to the camp place, or you can go straight to, Vic's Camp, Wooten Woods, Vic's, something's up there. Vic's Camp. Yeah, Vic's Camp.
Can I bring
Vic's
up
Camp.
the fact that you were doing lessons kind of, or we don't want to go there?
What'd you say?
That you're kind of giving lessons, or do we not?
Yeah. I mean, I am giving lessons, but you be prepared to pay a lot for them. I mean, and I'm serious about it.
I was asking for the audience.
No, I mean for anyone out there. If you want them, I'll do them, but I'm going to charge you way too much. But this is a way, and I'm going to book it through my manager. That way, she makes money too. Because we think about this: that musicians aren't making that much money right now, right? We know that. But what about the crews, the people who set up the stages? What about the tour managers, the managers? The booking agents, they're not making money either. So, I've been finding ways of getting my, that's last year's schedule. So we have to update it.
I went to all of those last year.
You sure did.
Nice.
But yes, and if anybody's interested in taking lessons, hit me up and I'll get you in touch with Danette, who is his manager.
Sure. Yeah. But, again,
but it's going to be
single lessons with one person for 30 minutes winds up being an hour. I'd rather have 10 people for an hour. I'd rather have 20 people for an hour. Right? That's really my forte. Put me in front of a group of people. But I don't mind doing one at a time. I'll do it. But I'll just be straightforward. You're going to pay for it.
Could be
Because and whatever we charge you won't be enough. You know?
I can believe that.
But it allows my manager to make a little bit. My touring manager, Jack, he's my tour manager and my sound guy. He's in charge right now of shipping all our merchandise. So we put him to work, give him a different job, and give him a cut of everything we sell. You know, I want to make sure that the people that have made me what I am are still able to make a something. You know, that's why one of the main reasons I did that whole camp. I did a camp called the ABCs of Gigging, Touring, and Management. That way, I had my crew guy Jonathan in there, had my touring manager Jack. He's also the sound guy, and I had my manager Danette, and then I even brought in my booking manager because gigs are going to come back. So let us show you how to make them better once you get back. How do you know how to ask for what you're worth? But then how do you know how to get more than you're worth? You know, what's the first thing you do when you show up at a venue? What's the last thing you do?
Call Danette.
Right. But literally, when do you call her? Do you have someone who you can call who's not stuck in the mountains in the snow?
Right.
Who knows where you're supposed to be? So when you can't reach anyone, they know they haven't heard from you and they know what to do. What do you do when you're stuck in Spain and there's no flights, but you still have to get to the gig? What do you do? You were there, Remy. What do you do when you wake up and your trailer on your U-Haul has been stolen? There's no gear, but you still got a gig.
Cry and then figure it out.
Right. You know, so we looked at a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing a gig. What's a guarantee? What are split points?
Right.
How do you know how many people paid in advance and how many people paid at the door?
You got to stand
What
at
is
the
a
door.
rider? What should be on your rider? You know, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, and me personally, I've never taken money from any of the camps. So that money goes to the people that work for the camps, you know. So it's just another way to spread the love around for people that give me a career.
That's awesome. And you just gave me an idea for a book. If this is good, steal it. Take it, please. But, you know, if they have the Art Award by Sun Tzu or whatever, if you can make the music version, like with all the things you were just talking about, like what do you do when you show up and none of your gear's there? How do you survive this, you know, so that's really cool. Those camps sound really invaluable. Definitely something to check out. And buy his freaking new book, The Spirit of Music. And when is the audio version going to be available?
Right now, I heard someone tell me that Amazon said the 23rd of February. I don't really know for sure. I don't really know. We just had a little snafu business-wise. We had to iron out a few details in the business with the publisher for the audio version. We just got that ironed out. So we're going to get it out as quickly as we can now. But it's really good. It's really good. Brandon Blake. I know Brandon Blake is out there. Brandon Blake is actually on the audio book. I wrote a character in the book called Brandon. And then I also had Brandon play some kalimba for me to help orchestrate the book. So there's a lot going on in this new book.
Well, that is it right there. That is awesome. All right, listen, we got it. Stereo Joe's hiring you for a gig. It's probably going to cost you 5 times as much as the lesson.
We could have pulled all of our money together to afford that one.
Oh my God, that would be the coolest thing ever. But
now, if you want my whole band, all you gotta do is hire the dude that was before playing. He's got it all covered. He's playing guitar, keys, bass, drums. He's got it all covered. I'm sure that'll cost you less.
Henry Invisible, yeah,
oh my God.
He literally does it all. He plays the bass. I was like, holy cow.
Singing. Yeah, just call him.
You do them all at the same time better than I can do one of them. It's
right.
Insane.
You and me both, Nick. You and me both.
I'm loving it. Well,
Wow.
all right, guys. Thank you so much, Victor. This has just been truly an honor. I'll probably say that like 8 more times to you, but thank you so much for coming on. And I'd love to see you again one day. But either way, good luck with everything going forward. And I can't wait to get a copy of the book myself, and I'll be telling everyone about it. So thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Vic.
it. Thanks for having me on.
So much.
Thank you, Victor.
All right,
It was
you're
a pleasure
welcome. Take care, everyone.
and a big inspiration.
Ciao.
See you later. Wow, guys. Okay, my mind is blown. That was the Victor Wooten on the Stereo Joe Show. Literally the most exciting thing I ever have. Kevin's been waiting backstage real quick. I'm going to get him on, but please, guys, share your thoughts. What are you thinking?
Wow, there was just
What are you
so
really
much.
thinking?
There was just so much tonight that went beyond the music that really shows that yes, music is important, but there are so many things that you need to do as a musician and an artist to connect with people, and even just to understand the feel of music itself, to really understand what it's all about.
Absolutely. And I can think of a million more questions to ask him, just from, his favorite song to all so many different things. But Remy, thank you so much. Did you have a little bit of fun yourself?
I had a blast. It's always fun. I always love seeing people hear Victor talk about other things besides music for the first time, because both of your faces were like, way. So,
Well, it was just so deep.
It was great. It was like having a mini camp. I feel like I'm at mini Wooten Woods.
It really was great. It was like, oh my God. But, all right. Well, listen, let's get Kevin in here to talk about it real quick. Kev, what are you thinking, man?
I think just like everybody, just my mind is blown. I mean, you see a guy perform like he performs, I guess you may as well expect to have your mind blown when he sits and talks to you, because I was not expecting to go so deep.
Dude, I
went
wasn't
there.
expecting it either, and I'm really glad you got to talk to him, because I know you're such a giant fan.
Thank you so much for that. I was sitting there taking notes. When I saw Henry ask and get on there, I was like, oh, I should go back and see maybe if they'll let me on. And then I wasn't sure, so I just started taking notes just in case.
Good,
yes. Just in case I had a question to ask, because I knew I'd be nervous.
Well,
these are all the notes. This is the majority. I've taken all of these notes in the past 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
From Wooten Woods camps and stuff.
Wow.
Go.
And Remy tells me the story.
Real time, like when it's actually like we can go in person. I'm telling you, I'm dragging all 3 of you. We're going.
Let's do it.
You know me. I'll just be like,
you gotta camp. I mean, there's like cabins and stuff, but it's fine. If I can do it, y'all can do it.
I love the camping. Well, all right. I am so excited, Kevin. I want to get you on as quick as I can, so as many people as can possibly hear you.
Thank you,
guys. Everyone, share a post right now so that my boy Kevin gets some followers. He's really gonna tear it up right now. All right. So let's get my ugly face off first, and then Kev, take it.
Thank you again so much for having me. It was really a pleasure to be able to be in the same virtual space as somebody like Victor Wooten. And then to get to talk to him, that was just incredible. And like I said, I was taking notes. So Victor said, essentially, I think what he was saying was you need to put yourself and be yourself and put that into your music. I wasn't originally going to play this song tonight, but because I think I played it maybe the last time, but that just hit me like a ton of bricks, because that's something I really try to aspire to do when I write and make music and when I perform. And this song was the first song that I ever wrote that just I questioned if I should even write it, because it was just a very honest song. But then I remember when I was writing it and I questioned myself, I thought, well, no, that's the best thing to do, is to be as honest as you can. So I thought I'd play this. This is a song called Friend of the Fire, and it's by my band, the Stone Road Band. It's all my fault. One trip and fall. Can anyone see I'm still here? Buried alive with all my fears. Took away time and all its progress, just to feel safe in my own way. Tick, tick, boom. Skipping like stone across this water. Time's left to burn, but it keeps getting hotter. Can anyone see me right here? It's getting so hard to think clear. Look through life and all its madness. Drift away and find a home. Come watching burn down slowly, and you can fade away. It's up to you to stop on fire and its now I'm through with all this digging. It's time to wash my hands up clean. Just look at me in spite of you. Carried on and I've made it through. Come watch it burn down slowly, and you can fade away. It's up to you to stop the fire and its slowly, and you can fade away. It's up to you to stop the fire and this friend. Come watch it burn and fade away. It's up to you to stop the fire and its Thank you very much. That is on our first album, Alive at Dusk, which is a live album that we recorded down in Providence, Rhode Island a couple years ago. I think I'll do a couple more and then let you all go to sleep. This is kind of a newer tune.
you seen yourself in the mirror? There's a reflection that might do you some good. It's the way you think us all inferior. There's no reason you should be so cold. It's all the same to you, and the rest of us must rearrange what we think, how we are, and everything we do. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. If you see the cracks getting clearer, don't mistake yourself as understood. Broken pieces you collect and save, throw them back because they're not the same. Take the long way out. What's the reason now? Have you not made more than enough? Is this all that you need? Oh, 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 it's the way that you feel. Oh, take a look, all the lines are the same. Well, it's no wonder you could be this way. Burn your bridges and we'll break them down. Here's a name and then we'll stick your crown. It's all the same to you, well, the rest of us must rearrange what we think, how we feel, and from where we came. Take the long way out. What's the reason now? Have you not made more than enough? Is this all that you eat? Oh, 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 now what more could you need? Have you seen yourself in the mirror, looking back at his favorite clown? Now, take a long way out. What's the reason now? Have you not made more than enough? Is this all that you eat? Whoa, 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 what more could you need? Yeah, take the long way out. Oh yeah, take the long way out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank you very, very, very much. All right, I think I'll do one more. Yes, I think. So I'm gonna do a little. I think I'm gonna do something that's not mine, if that's okay. I like this song a lot. I've been playing it a little bit more lately, and it's by one of my other heroes. He was a Beatle. Thank you again to Stereo Joe, Jimmy, and Nick, and for having me tonight on this special show of theirs that will live in their history, I'm sure, for quite a while. I know a lot of people, I was watching the comments as well, and so many people were enjoying, and Victor Wooten just blew all of our minds. So thank you to Victor Wooten. I think this song's kind of fitting to the conversation with Vic today. I wish you all well, and have a beautiful night.
People say I'm crazy, doing what I'm doing. Well, they give me all kinds of advice, save me from ruin. When I say that I'm okay, well, they look at me kind of strange. Surely you're not happy now, you no longer play the game. People say I'm lazy, dreaming my life away. Well, they give me all kinds of advice designed to enlighten me. Well, I tell them that I'm doing fine, watching shadows on the wall. Don't you miss the big time, boy, you're no longer on the ball. 'Cause I'm just sitting here watching the wheels turn round and around. Oh, I really love to watch them roll. No longer riding on the merry-go-round and round. I just had to let it go. People asking questions, lost in confusion. Well, then there's no problem, only solution. Well, they shake their heads and they look at me as if I've lost my mind. Tell them there's no hurry, I'm just sitting here doing time. 'Cause I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. Oh, I really love to watch them roll. No longer riding on the merry-go-round and round. I just had to let it go. I just had to let it go. I just had to let it go. I just had to. You may say I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. I hope someday that you'll join your song, and the world will be as one. Thanks everybody very much. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. And be good to each other. Be excellent to each other.
Dude, you are so freaking talented.
Ah, thanks, man.
You really fucking nailed it, man. I'm bringing in the whole crew to tell you how amazing you are.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
What
Nick.
is that, a golf clap?
No. Wait, what?
Nick giving me a golf clap.
That was awesome, man.
Thank
You
you
went
very
from
much.
watching the wheels until whatever other Beatles song you did at the end, because I'm blanking because my brain hurts.
Imagine. I threw a little
Thank
imagine.
you.
there at the
Yeah,
end.
I was like, there was no Beatles song at the end, but now I'm blanking. Beautiful. That was
Thank you.
beautiful. That was really, really beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I've been playing that one a little bit, and it kind of felt like it fit the tone of Vic's talk. I hope he doesn't mind me calling him Vic.
Well, I mean, you guys aren't that tight yet, so.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him I said Vic.
Dude, how great was he? He was so. It was, dude. You were great. He was great. Henry was great. Theresa.
Did Zeus just growl in the background? I'm sorry. I heard a dog growling.
He loved the show too.
He's. I mean, how could he not?
He was giving you
Victor
mad props.
Wooten blew your dog's mind. He blew everybody's mind tonight.
Those were growls of joy.
I mean, I'm used to the mind blowing from Victor. But have you read, again, I know he's not on right now, but did you read his first book?
I have not. I'll be very honest. I had no idea
It's
that
called
he
The
wrote.
Music Lesson, A Spiritual Growth Through Music. Read it.
Yeah,
Worth it.
definitely.
I wouldn't know who he was if I didn't randomly find that book in Park City, Utah.
Oh, wow.
Henry, if you're still signed on, pop back in. Yes. But if you're not, it's totally good. I see you're kind of here. But if you're on, pop in. And if it pops on, I'm going to pop them in too.
Nice. Now we can fangirl it out now.
But before we do fangirl,
I'm sorry. Yes.
No, but before we do fangirl on Victor, I would like to say, Kevin, that was such an emotional performance.
Thank you.
You really do put a lot into it, and you did a great job all throughout the night, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, and thanks for having me on twice, before and after. That's what an honor to, like I said earlier, just share the same virtual space as somebody like Victor Wooten. I mean, it's those are the guys. Those are the people that people like us look at and say, well, shit, maybe, because they inspire us, and to just hear him speak the way he spoke, just so eloquently and beautifully about music and what it means, and I don't think I ever realized how on the level I would be with somebody like Victor Wooten. You know, I'm a songwriter and he's a bass player, and it's not that that's separate. We're all musicians, but to see that he actually really thinks like a songwriter, because he is a songwriter. I mean, he plays the bass in a way that most people aren't really familiar with seeing, but I mean, he plays the bass like a lead, and I mean, he writes his own solos. He flips them over his head and his back, but
he's amazing.
Yeah, he's inventive.
Wait, Henry, come back. Henry was just here.
Come back, Henry. Come back, Henry.
I'm glad that you guys got to see more than just the musician that Victor is. Like, that you guys got to see, like, really who he is as a human being. Like, I think that was a cool part of the whole interview. That you guys really got to get like into his, like, he get like his spiritual stuff and this and that. Like, it didn't only have to do with like, hey, this is my technique. Like, it had almost nothing to do with that.
Well, and I think that's a big part about is that musicians just are. That's what they are. They're just people. And no matter the Dave Matthews, the Victor Wootens, the Madonnas, the Elton Johns, they're all just human people that. My wife and I were actually just speaking of the Beatles. We were just watching their Beatles anthology the other day, which is just like 6 to 8 hours of heaven. But for a nerd like me, but to just see these 4 kids that just, hey man, you want to start a band, man? Yes, man. Hey, let's go across town and learn how to play B7, man. And then they become the biggest generationally skipping, they just keep going but they're just people, and
exactly.
And it again and I'm sorry, I'm just yakking because I'm nervous still, but to just see somebody like a Victor Wooten just spilling out like that and just showing us that it gives people like myself hope that
no, it's true though, like
regular people just become
just a human being. We breathe the same air. We all shit in the same toilets. Like, we're just human. They're just human beings,
Well, when I knew we were getting Vic, I had to bring out the big guns. So I was like, I'm bringing Kevin and I'm bringing Henry Invisible. Welcome back to the show, brother.
Thank you so much for having me tonight. I am just like so stoked. I mean, first of all, I fell in love with you guys the first time you invited me on the show, but listening to Victor and having read his books and everything, that was amazing. I was here for it all, and I'm glad I was. Thank you.
Dude, it was so exciting. Nick and I wanted to get people that could jam out. So we tried to bring a great cast for Vic tonight. We were like, we got to get people that are good. Like, what if Vic tunes in and sees someone bad playing? He's like, no, can't make it. I'm like, nope, sorry, busy. So I had to bring out someone who's done.
What you want to know, Victor tonight? He would actually never say that.
I like you guys are reposting this, right?
I was going to
hell
say,
yeah.
right, please.
Absolutely.
Cut me out of it. I'm kidding.
No.
I want to put it on DVD or something and put it in a lockbox and leave it for somebody to find in like 100 years so they can see that Victor
We're gonna do like
Wooten,
a time capsule.
he was the guy that
Let's
knew.
put it on VHS as well.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God! When
yes.
you said VHS, Henry, he was like, "Oh,
This got real.
VHS. All right."
I love you guys. Like the next time I come into New Jersey, we have to go eat at the diner.
Oh, for sure.
Please. Absolutely.
I'm including myself in that. Yes.
Yes.
Where are you, Henry? Are you in Texas?
I'm in Austin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Austin,
love Austin. I played in Austin actually when I was on tour with Victor at oh Jesus Christ. What the hell is that name of that place? That was really good job, Remy. Thanks. Memories up the window.
There's probably some crappy club.
It was. Oh. No, it was like an outdoor thing. It was like half outdoors, mostly outdoors.
Oh,
Jesus.
I know the place, but I'm not gonna say it because of special reasons. Was that the venue that perhaps I opened up for Victor Wooten? It was with Dennis Chambers, though. No.
No, that must have been a great show, though. Dennis Chambers on drums.
Yes.
Oh, that was probably a great show.
It was amazing.
No, it was. Oh my God!
Is
my
this the
brain-
after party, guys?
Basically.
Are we in the after party?
You know what?
It was like right before the ghetto part.
Guys, you're-
Okay, I'm gonna drink some apple juice.
Poor Henry.
Get
He's like,
wild.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
Guys, welcome to your new virtual band. We are the Invisible Kevin.
My favorite
Vikings.
part, Jimmy.
Kevin
Can I call you JJ?
Sports name.
This is the first of many tonight.
My
Oh,
favorite
gosh,
part
nice.
of every bit of the interview was when you said, maybe next time bring the band. He goes, well, bring that guy.
Yeah.
No, he really. I mean, he enjoyed all of your stuff, but like he really enjoyed your. He really did.
Well, I mean, we chatted a lot, and I read his book. I've read his book twice. Have you read the first book?
Are you asking me or everybody?
Everybody.
Well, yes, I have. I don't know about anybody else.
Anybody else?
I wouldn't know about Victor. I wouldn't know Victor if it wasn't for
It's
that book.
amazing. It's amazing. Look, hold on. I'm gonna go get it. Okay. Well, I mean, it's right.
You
around
go
the
get it
corner.
while I try to find this fucking
It's
venue.
behind one of the stereos.
Am I allowed to curse on Facebook?
I think so. Yeah, of course. By the way, we have to get that backdrop, Nick. I was talking with Henry about that before.
Yeah.
That's the best.
I like that a lot. I gotta find out where he got
So,
it from.
Kevin, in this new band, you've been nominated for vocals.
Okay.
Really love what
Yeah.
you're
See,
doing.
Henry's
I'm
got
not part
that
of the- I
background.
don't commit to
mine's
bands,
built
but I
in.
just hang.
I got the-
Henry
the
does
70s
do
background.
everything, but he has to let us do something.
Remember
So
when I showed up and Jimmy was like, I was like, man, this is not working. And Jimmy goes, well, okay, well, there's a green screen option. I said, oh, okay, well, I'll try this. And yeah, anyways, my bookmark is on emotion and feel. And it is one of my favorite chapters of this book. He also signed this book. I was just looking for the autograph. Oh, here it is. He said, groove. He said, the music lesson within you, Victor Wooten. And this book right here is his first book, apparently. And I can't wait to read and also hear. I want to hear the audiobook of it because
It's great. And his mom who's recently deceased, actually in the first audiobook does the voice of music.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool. His audiobook sound like an interesting spin on the book.
Right? I mean, I just
It's
want to
really cool. It's very cool. Which are you talking about, the new book or the old book? I'm sorry.
Both of them. I haven't read either of them or heard them, but the way that he records them, it sounds like it's beyond what a normal audiobook would offer.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting out a soundtrack of music for the first audiobook, just of music.
Amazing.
It's cool. I have it. If you want to borrow it, I'll lend it to you. Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I have it.
This
Amazing
book
guy.
was
I have it.
incredible.
No problem.
This book was incredible, and the fact that he was talking about the new one, and I just can't wait to read it. And wow, to me, like Victor Wooten is kind of like the Jedi
Yes.
of the music community,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he speaks so like spiritually,
Yes.
above what most people talk about in music comprehension. So, yeah. Anyways, that's just the last bit I just wanted to say, and also, I mean, thank you so much for having me on the show. It was awesome. I'm looking at a couple of my fans say, "Oh yeah, that was awesome." And
That was so fun though. Really, it was really nice to meet all you guys too.
yeah. Jimmy
Absolutely.
James, Kevin Horan,
Yes.
Remy, Nick the Viking.
Yes, indeed.
I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you.
Back at you, dude.
Love you
Amen.
too, man.
It was great to meet you, man.
Really,
Thanks for bringing such joyful, funky music into my house on Friday nights.
amen to that.
And I swear we're really making dinner.
I'm hoping you're making the best dinners.
Oh, you don't even know.
Making some of that midnight dinner, eh?
Yeah.
Slappy Joe.
I'm
Special
Here,
secret sauce.
Slappy Joe, slappy Joe. Am I the only one?
All right. Well, I'm sad to do this, but this has been a long episode.
Yeah.
3 hours, 50-minute mark right now.
I told you.
I love it.
One for the books.
It is. Oh my gosh. So okay, I'm so sad to do this, but all right, I gotta let everyone go. This sucks.
Jimmy
All right,
and Nick and you guys have me back more than more. Just have me back. I'll do one song. I'm cool.
We'll get, dude. We're definitely doing that. And listen, we're a new family here. I love all of you. Be back soon. See you guys. Thank you so much.
Love you,
Kevin
bro.
Horan, I say it wrong. Stone Road Band, Henry Invisible, amazing. Go check them both out. Also, Oxygenbox Band, Balvo 509 that was on earlier, and Theresa Ratliff. Great job, Remy. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Hope you
thank
have
you.
a great night.
You too.
All
I'll
right,
see
see you.
you tomorrow or today.
Yeah, you better. Tonight, but definitely tomorrow.
All right. Good night, guys. I love you.
Bye,
both.
Remy.
Bye. Nick, wow, man. What a great show as always, dude. So lucky, man. What are you thinking?
Wow, this has been not only the longest, but the most insightful episode we have ever had. We've been lucky to have such amazing guests, to learn so much, and to have all these performances tonight. It was just all around amazing, and we're lucky to be able to do what we do.
Absolutely, dude. Yo, today was insane. This was an amazing show. We had a special show last Wednesday. I think it was last Wednesday or 2 Wednesdays ago, where we had the 80s Revolution on. They're that awesome 80s band from New Jersey here. And then next week, we have a really special show with Jocelyn and Chris Arndt, who are amazing musicians as well. They were on the Today Show, had 3 top 40 Billboard AAA songs. I had to remember that. But they're so talented as well. So we've been hitting on some really big shows lately. And of course, we just had our own show on Saturday. We did a bunch of songs, I think like 16 or 17 songs. We were having a great time, dressed up as nerds. Please go check that out. And honestly, thank you so much for tuning in. We can't do the show without everyone who tunes in every week, and a lot of people tuned in this week. So thank you for that. And really, please support all the other musicians. Kind of feels like we're like making a mini family here, but we're really lucky. And but anyway, Nick, what do you got to say before you go?
Thank you for everyone. Like Jimmy said, we wouldn't be able to do this without you. So if you aren't already or you're new here, make sure you subscribe or just hit those notifications, because we do this each week. And like he said, we also do perform too. So it's a great chance to get to learn about our music and get to see another side of us as well.
Amen. Sorry, I thought I was just messing him up the whole time. Nick, you're the fucking man. Thank you for all the hard work. Everyone tuning in, thank you. Oh, please. I get the message. Vic is the man. Thank you so much, Victor Wooten, for coming on the show, making our life complete. Nick, this is the end. No, I'm joking. This is only the beginning. We're going to get bigger and better. Thanks to everybody. That's it.